Hello, welcome to episode 31 of the Geno52 podcast. I am no longer in the conservatory. I am sat... What would you call it? It's not... What we sat under? It's like a porch? Lean-to?
Lean-to. I don't know.
It's not a pagoda?
A covered area in a beer garden. A pagoda. It might be a pagoda.
I don't know. We are sat... Well, anyway, we are sat in the beer garden at Incom Gaming. It is 10 to 11 and
You just read your time from a beer.
I'm only through my first one, but you can tell what's happening already. It is Tarssis 4, the betrayal at Moggood Prime. So, we have 36 players smashing the hell out of each other. So we're going to do some podcast recording. We're also... Oh, fucking hell, this is terrible. I'm also joined by my colleague, Mr. Stuart Mack.
I think they guessed. They heard me already.
I do this every time. I talk
for about 10 minutes and realise that there are other people in this world than you, Tom.
No, Strump is there. We are also joined live in the studio, the outside studio, the OB broadcast suite, by Mr. Robert Ing.
Morning, chaps. How are you doing?
All right, it's 11 o'clock and I'm drinking.
No surprise there. No surprise there.
Actually, to be fair, I was quite good. I didn't drink too much yesterday because I was driving. But
I don't start yet. I've seen the timetable. It'll get messy.
Well, you mean you don't fancy drinking from 11 in the morning till 11 at night?
Not at my age, no.
So for those of you who don't know, Rob is the former two Gamer Radio.
Back in the day, and I'm now Greg Dan's Facebook thrall for the Imperial Truth. So.
Social media manager.
Facebook thrall.
Social media managers will look good on a CV.
Yeah, get that down on your CV. Yeah,
that's true.
Just don't explain what it's for on your CV.
No, perhaps not. No, so I try and keep that updated with stuff for him, so that he's got time to focus on what he does. I'm here as a reserve.
You are. Well, you stepped in
fourth level reserve
late on, as we lost a couple of people in the last couple of days, including our spare player and an event crew member who had to work this weekend. So I messaged you and said, look, got a spare bed now. We've got food for you. You just need to get yourself here.
Can you get yourself here and fill yourself full of beer?
Had fun doing that, didn't you?
Yeah,
you had a good
that was fun.
Train journey that was like 2 hours
my
late.
Missus is an absolute legend, and I rang her up from work while my bosses popped out for 10 minutes. So I was like, right, on the phone. About this weekend, dear, I know you're supposed to be having the girls around, but do you mind if I sod off to Cheltenham?
Can I go to the other end of the country
can I bugger
play
off?
Toy Soldiers?
You're banishing me from the garden anyway, so can I just be banished a bit further? And yeah, she said fine, so booked the train, and it would have been faster if I'd walked. But yeah, here I am, observing what's going on at the mighty Incom Gaming. It's not how I imagined it, but it kind of is at the same time.
It's hard to describe this place
because people said it's a pub. To me, it's not a pub. It's a venue.
No, it's not. It's a venue.
It's become a venue.
Yeah, but I was a music venue though. It's a music venue.
It is.
It is a
music venue and club, alternative club. So where all your metalers and your punk and your emo kids go on a Friday Saturday night.
I've done enough miles in the back of a van and recognise the smell and go, yeah, this is a gig venue.
Well, it's a gig venue, a nightclub, a gaming centre, a gaming club, and a strip club.
And a bloody well-stocked
a
shop.
1 week a year strip club.
Well, no, we've got a licence for every race meeting.
Ooh.
So we do Cheltenham Race Week. Chip does Cheltenham Race Week.
You don't have anything to do with the strippers.
I'm not allowed in when the strippers are on. To be honest, I don't really want to be here after all. I see all the fallout.
You turn up with a yellow tabard and a clipboard. I'm here to do your fire
safety. To be fair, he takes some advice.
Don't put that there.
No.
Oh, look who's wandering about. It's Mr. Hickey.
He's either won or lost or just going to
that face looks like he's lost. No. Of course, Brendan doesn't lose games, even with gun pigs. Hey?
Go.
Yeah, come and grab us in a minute. We're going to be recording for a little bit. If you want to rack up and have a casual game or whatever, or just hang about, have a drink, cool. Yeah, so we got people milling about. Where were we?
Basically, we're being bad hosts and sitting in the garden recording a podcast when we should be
because we didn't think
TO
people
stuff.
Would smash each other within the first hour and a bit.
They're playing ZM.
They're playing ZM, to be fair. Yeah, we have had one frontline game that went wrong by turn 2, but it was an interesting scenario. And as we described, it was a cascade of shit with dice rolls and shoot. Everything goes well for one player and nothing goes well for the other, and people fall back and break and run and.
It can happen.
I just want chips. Why can I smell chips?
Because you've got Weatherspoons there.
Oh, right.
You've got Holy Cow there, and you've got other food places. We've sat behind basically a row of food. You've got Wagamama's as well, closed. So food is being cooked off at lunchtime now.
Nice.
Yeah. Dead air. What were we up to? Yeah, so Rob's come down to join us, crew. So what we always do is we have, so I have a third member of event crew who is sort of on standby, and with the way Harry was drinking last night, there was no guarantees he was coming back today. So Rob's kindly come and joined us. So
I've got everything I need to, but I'm happy just chilling out.
Well, you might get some games this evening as well, because we're open all evening. There might be people who aren't so much into the drinking and might want to play another game or so. And then there's another night of drinking, so that means there could be a casualty tomorrow morning.
We've had casualties on Sunday, but I mean, there's also things like we've had it where somebody's midway through the day been like, shit, I gotta go, family stuff. So it's just handy to come down and hang around. So should we roll into some usual waffle then, Stu?
I think we've done some waffle, but yeah, we can do some more usual waffling.
What have you been up to in the week since we last recorded?
Have I done any hobby?
You've done some commission stuff, haven't you?
I've done some War Machine commission stuff, and personally I've painted some Stormcast Eternals. So we'll move on from that quite quickly. Other than that, nothing, apart from mucking around with the matchups. So Tom came round on Wednesday night.
Was greeted by your son going, "Why are you here again?"
Which is what you said this morning when we saw you.
So he ran away from me.
See, I've been going around for 2 years, so I've now I just get asked why I'm there.
He was so excited to see you, Rob, even though he said to me yesterday, he said, "Who's coming?" I said, "One of my friends is coming to stay for the weekend." He said, "Okay." He said, "Have you met him before?" I was like, "Actually, no." No, I've not met him. It's just a man off the internet.
Special internet friends.
Well, you were covered by the fact that at least I'd met you once.
Don't tell anyone at your nursery about that. Well, we might have the social services.
Daddy invites strange men from the internet round to stay for the weekend.
He's got this app on his phone called Gamer.
There's money made there.
There is a dating app in there. Do you know what? There is a genuine nerd dating app.
Dudes looking for dudes. Gamer. Right, that's it. Copyrighted. I'm fucking doing it.
Hey, there's going to be somebody out there who can write an app.
It'll be done now. Like 2 hours after this gets uploaded, somebody will put it up on iTunes.
So you came around on Wednesday night when the football was going on, and we were working on contingencies, whether we were being in the final, which turned out to be not needed.
It was a really weird situation. I sat there thinking, I really want them to win the semi-final because it'd be great for the country and great for the football to be in the final. I kind of want them to lose because the final's during the fifth round of the event, and people are going to leave, and I'm going to have to deal with that and shit. And it would be like I said, it would be totally understandable if somebody wanted to go and watch the football because it's a once in a generation thing. If you're into that kind of thing, Rob's pulling funny faces. But with the conflict we had was for those who want to go would be pissed off if we were like, no, you can't. But the people who weren't interested wouldn't. We were like, we could stop for the match. There's a 90-minute gap there where people. If you're not into football, you're going, I don't want to fucking sit around on a Sunday for 90 minutes, you know.
Yeah. And we knew it would be a possibility because Sam and the Emperor's Path, they ran past a confrontation last weekend, and I think they had 8 people that went to watch the quarter-final game, and couple of those guys are here, so we knew that we were going to have some people asking. It's irrelevant anyway because it didn't.
We were sat there, we were doing matchups. I mean, I ended up at midnight. I'll have a boondoggle, please, Prioress. This is what we got. 31.
31. Why not? We've got numbers, have we?
Yeah, that's how you get your tab
29.
done.
I'll have one as well, please.
Are you going to join us, Rob?
I'm alright. I've still got my lemonade.
Miles away from the
out of range in case.
But
you came round to do matchups, and we didn't use those matchups. We couldn't use those matchups. So basically, you came round for sort of 2.5 hours, and we actually achieved nothing. I
ended up coming in on Thursday night, setting the tables up, getting home at 10 o'clock at night. When you were on date night trying to do matchups because you're like, I can't interfere with date night. I'm away all weekend. I won't upset and I'm like, shoo, I can't do the matchups because I'm setting up tables and I'm here all day.
We had a couple more drops.
Yeah, Mr. Mullins unfortunately fucked his back big time.
And the way we do our matchups, we couldn't just slot someone in that place. It basically knocked everything else out. So it was quicker to regenerate on the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And the stuff you sent me, there was loads of errors, wasn't there?
Yeah.
It just knocked it. So I basically regenerated and redid it and then sent it back to you to do the tables again.
And at 11 o'clock at night, I was sat at the laptop allocating tables because we've got the 6 ZM tables. So the Force Org, the army building for the event, you had to build a 1,500 point ZM list, and then every model in that 1,500 point ZM list had to be in your 3,000 point army. So everybody has made a concession to make a ZM army. So for me, everybody has to play ZM, because if you didn't play ZM, you'd be going, well, I've restricted myself and built this force to do this, but I haven't played with it. So which is fine, because we've got 6 ZM tables, and with the 36 players now, everybody bar 12 get 2 games of ZM, just the way it rotates ranks.
It's a fun logic problem, though. It's not just a case of generate rounds.
So I can't just dump tables out on people. We have to. I mean, to be fair, we could just allocate the ZM tables and everyone find a table. But for me, when you're at an event, you don't want that. If you're not socially forward, you might not be forward enough to go and grab a table.
And mentally backward. We got a couple of both of those.
I'm both. I'm
socially forwards, mentally backwards.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably the most accurate description of me that's ever been put out on the internet. So
that's a t-shirt for you.
Yeah, that can't be a t-shirt. Jody, you paint t-shirts. Make me a socially backwards, mentally no.
See, and you just proved it.
He's proven it.
I've proven it already. But yeah.
I'm looking forward to the. There's a letter in a moment with a tongue twister in it.
That's going to screw me.
Designed for you.
I've tried it a couple of times and it's not good. So we allocate the tables because it also helps with the efficiency of the event. Here's your table, go and find them. We put them up on a screen and.
Well, it worked, didn't it? Everyone just went straight off.
Yeah. We got no
one asked me what table they were on this time. First passes, no one said what table.
To be fair, those matchups have been. We posted the first round matchups in the players group, the night before.
People were drinking last night.
But some people will have seen it already and know the table, and it's up on. We have a projector with a screen so people can see it. It helps get the round off and going and keeps the administration down for us. We don't have to run around and fanny about too much trying to find.
It looked like it went pretty smooth. You finished your sort of pre-event chat
speech,
giving everybody the work spiel of the fire exits, and everyone just disappeared.
Yeah, it worked. As I say, it's the first time. But the last events we were handing out missions. And so we were sending people to one of two kind of War Masters. That's all in the pack now.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to come. There's no admin to come and see us about. They got their bag with everything they need in, all their information. The tables are on there.
You've done it now, just take them off. You can sit here and drink Boondoggle all weekend.
Yeah, that's
they basically
it.
Run the event themselves.
This is what we got you here, so that we didn't have to play any games, so we can just sit and drink.
But if in doubt, 4+ it.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. So first round.
If you're playing Mechanicum, 5+ it.
First round, first game. Problem with the deployment map. Straight away. But I've been around and chatted to people, and just said, look, somebody said, how does play the way I think Will and James were like, we've got halfway through the game, I'll input, put some interest down. Use them, don't use them. He was like, I said, well, tell you what, put one in the middle, 2d6 scatter it off to the centre. Yeah, cool, great, go for that. What's up, Mr. Nichols?
Silly question. I've never run away before, so I've never had to look at
the
rules. He's got a dreadnought run into my melter squad. I can't hurt it at all. How do I run away?
You can. You're not fearless or anything like that.
Butchers,
you're
just normal men.
Normal men. So you can volunteer.
Weapons are useless.
Yeah. So you can choose to fail. He can punch you.
Yep.
Then you can elect to fail your morale test,
yep.
But he will get the opportunity to sweep and advance you. So how many guys have you got in the squad? 8 men. You could tie that dreadnought down for 2 turns, so it can't kill anything else, or you can run away and potentially lose them all in one go.
But I've got melter guns. If I run away, I can try.
Yeah, so you could take the gamble, but you could lose on that initiative roll. You could lose the whole squad in one go.
Sweep the whole lot.
Yeah, so there's your gamble. Either hold him up and make him so that dreadnought, because he's going to get 4 attacks in the first one, 4 in the second. 6 for the race. So he's going to kill 6 this turn. You could still lose the combat and fall back anyway. I probably wouldn't. Our weapons are useless and try. 2 metal guns aren't going to kill him anyway. I would hold him up. Don't let it run because it's a Leviathan, isn't it? Or Cortis?
No, it's just his normal
Dreadnought.
Contemptors.
Yeah. So if it's normal Contemptor, we won't have rage because Cortis. Rage.
Blood angels.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Whatever. Bullshit angels. Yeah. That's your options. Run away or stand and take it.
Next question.
Killer, have you killed everybody?
No, 7-5 up, Covenant of Death.
You did lose on Covenant of Death again.
I managed to draw this time.
It's all right. They're in the next. Oh no, they're not in the next book. They won't fix it.
Oh, Killer. Oh, Killer. I love you, Killer.
I just don't know what to do anymore. I can't.
Full whack, annihilate the fuck out of everyone, because you've got to kill them to death.
Yeah.
You've just got to hammer them.
So I've got enough jet bikes now to make the Raven thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We forgot those things.
Oh, bloody hell.
We can have some more.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I've just lost.
So about to saying everybody's gone off to run it themselves.
To be fair,
Famous last
we've
words.
had 3 questions and comments. Compared to where we started, where we, like I said, one big thing, we used to hand out mission sheets, so everyone was handing out mission sheets. So one of the things I stole from when I went up to Legion of Peterborough, you walk in, they hand you a book. It's got everything you need for the weekend, and all the missions are written down. Here's your book, go and play. It will. This is very low admin for heresy events. Can be high, considering we've got missions, side quests, points of interest,
Character
warlord
progression.
advancement.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on. It can potential for a lot of bookkeeping. Now we've been quite clever with how to do it. All the bookkeeping is in one book, and it's in a fairly logical order, so you don't have to shuffle through papers and I've lost this page. That's not boondoggle. Punk will do.
Cheers.
You can't get the
Cheers.
table service at Incom.
She hasn't worked for like 4 years.
Push the expensive stuff on us. I don't know. Go on.
Yeah, I'm only paying for a boondoggle. Look at her face.
Less beer for more money. That's
Let's
not
be here
good.
for more money. Yeah, hang on.
Just taste good, though.
This is Incom service.
This is the capitalist society we live in. Strump forever.
So,
Matchups.
yeah, that's
So,
what
yeah.
we did. I was going to say, what have you been up to? But that's pretty much what you've been up to as well, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I've been tweaking and putting admin on, building tables, getting stuff out, dealing with dropouts and replacements and logistics, and yeah, it's not. To be fair, it's not been too bad because a lot of the stuff we've evolved and built into place, so a lot of it doesn't need. We're putting more on again. You know, the food package now, 30 quid for the weekend's food gets you a burrito on a Saturday. We've got a curry tonight. All we can eat curry buffet tonight. Barbecue lunch tomorrow. 10% off your drinks at the bar. So
There's a drink with those meals as well, isn't there?
yeah,
So
drink with both meals as well.
really good.
All 3 meals. So there's we've built in the extras now. So there's been a bit of logistics of like, right, what time are we having dinner? So we've got to have this. We've tweaked the audio setup for the projector screen. So and the way I deal with the microphone and stuff. We've now got the recording stuff out. So there's been lots of tweaking.
We're outside
stuff.
this time because the weather's glorious.
Yeah.
We're not tucked in the corner.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
Makes
especially
a
when I felt like last year, I mean, people don't know the layout of Incom, but I was sort of tucked around the corner behind the shop. You're nowhere near the gaming.
Well, we were tucked
and you're
round
nowhere
the-
near where people chilled out either because they would come into the garden or the other
Yeah,
areas.
yeah.
So at
We
least
were-
here, people will congregate where we are as well. which
Yeah, we
makes
were
more
tucked
sense.
around the corner to keep us out of the noise because one of the first times we recorded, we were right in the centre of the gaming and you couldn't hear over the noise
Yeah,
of the
I
gaming.
remember that one. It was quite
Quite difficult to listen to. So we went down to the back corner, which was great for recording, but we weren't engaged with the event, so people weren't coming out. So we wouldn't have Killer coming and wandering out and complaining about Covenant of Death again. But so we were out in the garden. Because one, it's fucking glorious, but two, it gives us a bit more engagement with the event. So there's been lots for me. It's been lots of tweaking and modifying and doing stuff. And to be honest, I've been writing the event pack for the next one because the next one goes on sale 2 weeks after the event. So I think by the time this drops, the tickets will have gone
Yeah.
on sale. So
Yeah.
the next one's going to be 3,500 to 4,000 point games, 2 games during the day, no lists, just bring your big shit. Mr. Green.
Yeah, got results for you.
Yeah, we'll grab them off you in a minute. Oh, did you
Come
win?
sit down.
Yeah.
Come and sit down and have a chat. Tell us about your game. How did it go? You're facing
won
killers.
somehow.
Was it one of those? Yeah, speaking to the mic, they're a bit directional, these ones.
So I managed to lose the main objectives and
Yeah.
then win on secondaries. So it's Night Lords. Don't fight fair, right?
Just don't. You're trying to do this. Cool. We're not doing that. We'll do something else, and we still screwed you over. So no, it's good. You playing ZM, weren't you?
Yeah, ZM defending like gate mechanisms.
Yeah.
Turns out in a long straight corridor when he's got a Kerry's, like a Kerry's Mortis, it's quite hard to defend an Armour 11 thing.
Hose them down.
So I just killed all the soft, squishy stuff.
Yeah. Night Lord's Way. I can't kill that. Let's kill everything over there. Oh, that's good.
And Killer just loses. So
Covenant, the rage about Covenant of Death.
He lost by 2,
Yeah.
which is what I rolled for
For
Covenant of Death points. So yeah, he would have won without. It would have been a draw without Covenant of
At
Death.
least I own behind the bill. I bet you beat me.
Yeah, I love that you're betting against yourself for a better result. I love it.
that's awesome.
You got your De La Rosa pattern drinking vessel.
Yeah. It's really fun. Every time I get out, I expect one of them to turn up and give me a beer, because that's literally what happened.
That's not going to happen here.
No, Chip's selling us less beer for more money than what we're ordering. So.
Now imagine Del Royce, he's looking up somewhere.
I can feel a cup open. Good.
Do I have to tell you that I found the STCR? Is that a thing?
No, you just score the points for it, don't you? Yeah.
It says that it can only be done
In that game. Sorry, yes, in that game. Yeah, it stop you to generating 3 STC arcs and getting 3 DC.
In my eyes, indisposed, in disguises no one knows, has the face, lies the snake, in the sun, in my disgrace.
Right, yeah, that got a bit wild with a few questions there, so that'll cut out probably a bit. She's going to do some editing magic because we ended up with about 8 conversations going on at the same time. So.
The one thing, I save loads of time recording live here, but then the editing time is crazy.
Yeah, it's a bit chaotic, so we'll slide back into where we were. So, what have you been up to lately then, Rob?
Mostly washing and building dreadnoughts.
Building a silly list that I make you build.
Yeah, all the dreadnoughts. And then more.
So for those who might have missed the connection, Rob was Mr. Anonymous who sent in the Alpha Legion Dreadnought
I
list.
was saying to Stu last night when I heard that back, I just realised how utterly ridiculous I was being in trying to be secret. It wasn't like a getting into character for the Alpha Legion.
That was all 20th Legion stuff.
I just listened back and I was like, I sound like I'm a complete twat. And
I understand the reason you're saying I think you just recorded with Edge of Empire.
I just recorded Edge of Empire. I just started doing the Imperial Truth Facebook stuff. I'd just been on the 30k channel, and it was like, didn't want people to think that I'm like going, "Hi, I'm Mr. Heresy."
Yeah, I'm everywhere all the time.
Yeah,
so it's fair enough.
It's all right. We got
your
Tom.
job.
Yeah, exactly.
You got me to deal with.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got 7 Contemptors to build, 2 Derrideos and a Leviathan, and I've been waiting for basing stuff to arrive, and then
That'll be lovely to paint, though.
Eh?
That'll be lovely to paint.
It will.
So how many have you got
quick,
done
actually.
now?
I've got 2. I think they're done.
Yeah,
I'm not
they're looking lovely though.
Part of me wants to just strip them and do them again, because I don't know why, but something in me just wants to strip them.
Not
and
quite
do them
happy
again.
with them. Yeah.
But we'll see how we go. But yeah, I've still got a lot of building and stuff to do, and my little man has decided he's going to stop having naps now. And my missus has been made redundant, so she's not out of the house 5 days a week. So it's kind of like, where's my hobby time?
Oh shit.
But no, it's good. I'm enjoying doing it. Hopefully it'll look nice. It'll be a bit different. It'll be dead easy to carry around. 3,000 points and 18 models.
Yeah. We were
10 dreads and 8 Terminators, and be like, right, yeah, that's it.
We've been chatting about magnetic cases, obviously, because I bought mine and you were talking about yours, and for you that's just going to be bang, 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 in we go and off we go.
In, done.
Are you magnetising much of your Dreadnought's arms and stuff?
Yeah, I'm magnetising all the arms, even though I'm not planning on doing anything else.
But you never know for the future.
But yeah, I might swap them around, so it's still the same points, but I might, instead of having double Volkite, I might go Volkite.
The only thing
Ares.
I would say, this is what I've learned, the Rodeo is magnetised at the waist, and obviously the base holds the legs. If you get a jerk, quite often the Rodeo top comes off. So that's the only. You might find that you might want to take the arms off and magnetise them down to the base, stick them down, just because that's what I find, like, you've got bits flying around then.
Yeah, it's not what I want.
Yeah.
I'm desperately trying to find Sentinel legs.
Yeah.
Because I want to Madcat the
Derrideos. Here's your opportunity to
yes,
abuse the
anybody's got any Sentinel legs that they want a reasonable price for, not the same price as a whole bloody Sentinel like the Bits websites I've seen, then
shoot us a message and we'll put you in contact with Rob.
Because I need 2 sets. But other than that, I've got everything apart from my Praetor, who I'm hoping is released this weekend at the open day. The new Alpha
I
Legion
think
Praetor.
you'll get them, yeah.
And I've got Graham from Edge of Empire. Yeah. I've put an order in. If he's available, he's going to pick me one up and potentially drop it off at my house on his way home.
Yeah.
If they've got time. So he might be waiting for me when I get home on Sunday night.
Was a conversation last night we were having after beers. We were thinking maybe Kroll out this weekend and maybe Scoria as well.
Yeah.
If Kroll is out, I'm picking up a Kroll.
Since Fest, none of the stuff that was painted has been released.
So I think we might see Kroll or Scoria and maybe the Praetors.
When was Fest? How long ago?
May.
May,
June,
so we're
July.
pushing on for that 3 month.
Yeah,
we'll show you it, and there it is.
I think we'll see a lot of the Titanicus weapons and upgrade kits previewed. We'll see a Warhound from Titanicus.
Yeah.
I think we'll get a lot of the heresy stuff released.
You might get a Titanicus price warning as well.
No, there is no price warning.
I think the
I'm
price
just
warning's
giving
already
my
gone
kidneys.
Well, yeah, not as a warning, but you might get a heads up.
The silly thing is, we'll probably be recording tomorrow and answering these questions in the
same
cast.
You probably get the replies to this, so it might be a bit of a mishmash show, this one, but it's one of the reasons we wanted to record is it's nice to sit here and record and be here. And
well, it looks like we're doing something, because otherwise we would just be sitting here having the same conversation without the microphones. But at least we look like there's some intent.
Yeah. So
is cool. That the plan for the rest of the weekend then? While we're just sat here, you two are going to put the headphones on, and at least we're going to look at that. Might not all be switched on, but
it's like looking at your phone on a train. You just put the headphones on, but apparently people still come and ask you questions.
The battery might be dead, but you're still staring at the screen. Yeah.
Should we do the couple of messages we've got?
So we got a first message then from Jack.
We have, I'll read it because you've got to do his challenge at the end. They say this is from Jack Anvil's a Colonel Jack. Hi guys, based off your last Alternative Armies segment, part 3, I decided to have a look through the generic Legion Rite of Wars, and I happened upon Sacrificial Offering, which looks like it will be incredibly fun to play and would suit the late heresy setting of my Legion. Rusty boys nicely. Okay, I think he's changed it actually. Talking about it this morning, he's decided to do something else.
Jack changes his mind every 5 minutes. He changes his mind as quickly as he drinks a pint.
Looking at Dark Mech, I think. But anyway, I already have 20 Allied Auxiliary levies made, and I'm planning on making 20 more using the new Cawdor miniatures. And you chaps know what I have available for the main force. Obviously, we've memorised his collection.
I've printed the fucking list off for him so many times.
Though I'm open to suggestions, so I was thinking around 1,500, 2,000 points, because I know levies are cheap as Lambrini. Topical. But again, open to suggestions. Looking forward to hearing what you come up with. So,
right. I don't think you need to add anything more really to your collection to go with Sacrificial Offering, because I think everything in Sacrificial Offering gets outflanked.
Yeah.
So Spartans and your Land Raiders and stuff will work nicely with that. You got your transports and stuff, so that'll work well. You've got to take a fortification for Sacrificial Offering. So I played Matt Woodsmith's Beastmen and World Eaters, and he got his castle with his fantasy castle with his Beastmen, and the opportunity.
Not a polystyrene, mighty fortress.
No. He absolutely spanned me with that army. Absolutely.
Did he?
Spanned me.
It kind of went wrong when I detonated his Beastmen tower in first turn, and then I stormed his tower.
Ooh.
I was the only player to invade his tower, and then the World Eaters came in and ate me and took me out of it. It was a beautiful. You got the attack bikes, didn't you?
With the
all kind of guys, the outrider bikes with the guy sat pillion on them.
Yeah.
I was so cool. That was one of my favourite armies. But so yeah, look at your fortifications, and you can really go to town with what. I mean, that's up Jack Street.
I don't know if he's thought about that, but I imagine he'll do an awesome job.
Yeah. Because I mean, the sort of token is, I'll take a Gears defence line, and that's my cheapest option. But I think with the Sacrificial Offering, you can really go to town.
I think for someone who's into the modelling as well, like Jay, he could really go to town.
See,
dare I mention he could have a Sky Shield landing pad, just not put anything on it. I hasten to add.
Well, you just run it as a bastion or something, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You take, because your fortification rules are in your Age of Darkness rulebooks now. I was thinking you look at something like, it's gone from my mind now. Which is a good idea. What's the massive Imperial Guard super heavy command tech? Capital Imperialis?
The Capital Imperialis, yeah.
No,
or the Leviathan, because they changed names between versions of Epic.
There's
the tower block with the
I know.
in the middle.
No, there's no reason to say you couldn't take, I'm going to take my Bastion and it's going to be the back end of that and build yourself the back end of it. So you could, just because it's a fortification, it's just parked. It's a tank that's parked. There's just real options in the fortification.
If you think the Mastodon counts as a fortification when it gets wrecked.
Oh no! Only if if you destroy it, you roll you -2 on the catastrophic damage, the super heavy catastrophic damage table, and if the result is 0 or less, it becomes a fortification.
Yeah, that's the
so
one.
it's I think it's on it's like a 3. You need a 3 up to detonate it.
But the old Leviathan was a little bit like super.
You roll in, stop,
Mastodon.
massive cannon, and just sit there, and go from there. Well, yeah. So I think you can go to town on there. I mean, you got your levies. You're probably going to want. I think Matt took a bunch of levies, and then like one rust, took a token rust and stuff.
Yeah, he had Demolisher.
Yeah, it depends where you want to swing with it. I mean, the good thing is. They never count as scoring if you're destroying. So I went in, smashed his fortification, killed his tank, destroyed his beastmen, and then he was like, "Yeah, you've scored nothing for them." And then the World Eaters encircled me, and I was like, "Oh, that was great. I loved it. It was such a good." So I mean, you can go to town levies. You're going to need a force commander to unlock the force. You're going to need maybe some artillery pieces just to give you a bit of punch. You need to survive that first turn. So a good, strong fortification is what is going to help you. Maybe a tank or two, a Lehman Russell 2 to give you a couple of tokens, because you're going to deploy only with the militia on the table, so you need to survive that first turn.
Yeah, definitely.
To get to the second.
Have dudes stood behind an Aegis,
No.
otherwise it'll be game over.
The other thing Matt did, he put a comms relay in the fortification so he can get his reserves on, so that you make sure you get. So you do have to invest some. I think you have to invest some clever points in the militia to make it work. But yeah, I think you can really go to town on that.
Modelling wise,
Yeah.
I'd love to see him do it. So forget whatever
I
Mechanicum you were
haven't
talking about.
shown you the Praetor, have I? So he's given me my Praetor back.
Oh no, I haven't seen it
It
yet.
looks like a different model. It is so smooth. Well, he's removed the so I got the Red Scorpions commando, the banner bearer, massive Aquila across the chest, Aquila's everywhere. So Jack shaved them down for me. I mean, I did my chaplain. I thought I'd done quite a good job there. And you still see a few marks from the file and stuff, which I've weathered up and stuff. It looks like it was moulded that way.
Yeah,
it looks like it's come out of the mould that fresh. I'll show you later. It's insane.
He's doing
how
a model
good it
for
is.
me. I'm looking forward to get my
Yeah,
hands on it.
definitely. I've seen Jack's models as in his army, at army level, but I've never seen the raw model.
Yeah.
And shit, it's good. Just like it's like glass smooth. It's insane. But
Yeah, he's doing it. He started an Imperial Fist model for someone ages ago, and it never came to fruition. And he's going to finish it off for me now. I was going to use it as a knight errant, but now that champions can take Paragon blades, there's a chance he could become a champion.
I was actually going to say
which would
that
fit really nicely into my
for you, that's
list to give it a little bit of extra punch.
It really gives you that extra little bit of punch now for that
And
list.
if I do run Stone Gauntlet in the future, I can take him with Stone Gauntlet. You can still take the third console if they're champion. So
I'm going to suggest we maybe cover the FAQ on the next show, because it's less than a week since it dropped.
well, it's already been really well covered,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I'm not here enough. What we will have is field data.
Yeah.
We're running the FAQ at Tarssis, so we're going to have field data from the event. Hopefully,
I think we'll end up just brushing into it. But RFI have done a full breakdown. There's no point in us doing it.
The
Really.
Edge of Empire guys have done a really good breakdown. They're going to do custos in the next bit once Chris is back, so they can do the custos bit.
I
They
think
did one of their Dreadcore
overall,
shows.
really, really,
I
really
love
positive.
it. I love it.
Bit maybe not sure about augury scanners and the impact that
Augury
might
scanner
have.
madness is going to be the thing. The one thing I think is Mechanicum have not got any friendlier, because the ability for them to take augury scanners and have high-powered shooting, it really against certain armies. If you're bringing something in drop, like I don't.
What you've done to Mechanic, because these are clarifications and toning down of units that are clearly really, and they did something with Scoria. So
Yeah, Scoria got the
I
nerf
don't
he
think you
needed.
can. I don't think you can look at Mechanicum as a whole, because it's strong as a whole. You'd have to have done debuffs on loads of stuff, and I don't think that's what this FAQ was designed to do. was it?
Mechanicum needs an updated
You'll-
red book.
it will wait for
it's
the red
that
book, so.
level. It's that level. The only other thing though for Mechanicum, I've discussed with you, the biggest thing that makes Mechanicum tough is a lot of people don't know how to deal with it. I played Collister yesterday in ZM with his fist, and he had heavy bolters everywhere, and I was running my automata, and I'm like, those heavy bolters terrify me, because they're strength 5, so they get around my toughness bonus. They're AP 4, so they clear my I get my feel no pain, but I'm generally making 5 and 6 up saves then. And you're putting, he's got 2 in a squad, so he's putting 6 shots out. That'll kill two Vorax, kill two Thalax. It kills stuff. It takes units down. and because he's hitting on 2s as well with the
Yeah,
Imperial Fist, you know. So they really that negates the heavy bolt. That was a really tough. I hashtag smashed him, no, but it actually came down to he went to charge with his Cataphractii into my Magos and failed the charge.
Yeah.
And his Dreadnought ran into my Ursarax. And I was
So
like,
when was this? This is
yesterday. So
right. So
we had Friday
a non-fire-on game.
Yeah. So we're only playing ZM. His Dreadnought ran into my Ursarax. I'm like, well, the Ursarax is then 4 or 5 attacks. The instant death, the Ursarax, I get no save against the Power Fist. It's just you hit, you wound, you kill a model. So I'm like, I'm in real trouble because I've used flanking counter assault on my Ursarax, which didn't work in there because he hadn't moved where I needed him to.
Yeah.
So I came in. I was like, the only place I can come is either in line of a load of heavy bolters, or by his Dreadnought. I'll have to take the gamble on the Dreadnought. So he swung with his 4 attacks, hit 3 times, failed to do a single wound.
Yeah.
He rolled 3 1s for his wounds. I'm like, so the Ursarax hit back with their 10 power, 5 of them 40 power, 20 power fist attacks, wrecked the Dread.
Yeah.
His Dread's got a big plasma cannon, so my hoplites are stuck because they can't come out in the open because they're going to get annihilated by the plasma cannon, so they can't get in range with their arc lances to kill it. I killed that Dreadnought. Suddenly that entire flank collapsed because then I could swing my Ursarax up, my Vorax came in around that way, and I rolled a flank that way, and it was like, yeah, losing the charge into the Magos. I mean, I got the charge in and I got the initiative on the hit. He then ran it. I then folded that flank round, and it was like, yeah, it came down to like turn 4. It just went back. That Dreadnought combat cost him big time. But yeah, the Mechanicum haven't got any friendlier from the FAQ because of the amount of Augurs. I mean, you can take a triple Thanatar squad, stick a Magos in it with Augury Scanner and a half Plasma Mortar, triple Plasma Mortar Interceptor. It's not friendly.
There's not a lot going to survive
The
that.
Mechanicum requires some regulation. I mean, there's going to be shit in all this.
But so many units can take them.
Apothecaries for Legion of Stars. You can put Interceptor in any unit.
Yeah, it's
Volkot
going to be interesting.
10-man Volkot Cavalry squad with Interceptor.
I'd
10-man missile squad with flight missiles.
Their thought process around it, because I don't know if it was.
I think it was what
maybe they
done,
play in a very heavy flyer meta and they feel like they need it, but I don't.
Well, what Anuj has done, and I'm not in disagreement with it. He has simplified and clarified that rule fantastically. It is a solid rule. It makes sense. There's no arguing. Maybe the wider impact in the game. It's one of these things. Until Anuj put it out in the outside world.
Yeah.
Until you get however many thousand
it'll
heresy
get
players
played
looking at
and
it.
tested now, and then maybe it'll change in the future.
I think that will get adapted again.
It's not the only FAQ he's going to do. That's step 1.
Yeah.
He's going to look at the feedback from that, see what the community say.
And we'll have version 2 of it.
It might be
the
it just
community
needs to go up in points a little bit.
But it's like Marksman Vets. You know, they got the squash, but prior to that, Marksman Vet was a meta. Augury Scanner is going to be important for this version. We're on Heresy version 1.1. Yeah. When Heresy version 2 or Heresy version 1.2 drops, the meta will shift. And actually, the one thing for the FAQ that I really enjoy is it's pushed the meta on now. Yeah. I say meta, I'm not using it in the right term, I'm using it in the colloquial term. We're pushing on now. Armies are going to develop, we're going to get new armies, and I'm hoping some of this will help with the issues
maybe there's going to be
community.
a lot of maybe this is something to do with demons.
Yeah.
Maybe there's going to be a lot of deep striking, flying demons.
Yeah, you might need quite a bit of interception.
So this might be something that, because there's been a bit of chatter, isn't there, about why wasn't the Blade of Perdition dealt with? Why wasn't? I think there's no point if you leave that out now. When Book 8 comes out, this FAQ is still almost 100% valid, isn't it? If you start putting clarifications that will then get changed by the next Black Book, then there are lots of this FAQ that will be superseded by it. Yeah, so I can understand why some of those. So yeah, maybe Augury Scanners is to do with what we're going to see coming in Book 8.
I got that. I've seen quite a bit of people saying, well, why has this been clarified? This was obvious. This is what everyone's doing. But to me, it was basically future-proofing. They've put it in, saying, right, this is how it is. You might have already all been doing this. But to me, that was like, something might come in Malevolence that you then go back and go, that's what they were preemptively referencing it in the FAQ, ready for Malevolence release.
Might make sense. Right, so that email from Jack has we haven't even finished it yet. Spawned a nice conversation around the FAQ. So Tom, you're not going to get away with it. He's left you a challenge, hasn't he?
6 sick shakes, 6 sheeps sick.
Nice. Say it quickly.
Fuck you all.
I'm
grown up. I'm done.
I can speed that up. I can make you sound
make it like a million.
Yeah, I can.
I'm a grown-up. I'm Strump. I can do what I like. Yeah, the six sheep sick.
Right,
That wasn't bad.
We'll be re-recording that tonight.
Yeah, let's do that tonight. Actually, I think that should be the JP does his question that kills on the phone in. Joe. We're gonna have the tongue twister that kills. Every time someone comes on, they're gonna recite that at the end.
I imagine most people won't be able to read it after a few hours. Right. Next email, or the other email we've had in the week since the last show. So hi guys, quick question. Now life has stopped repeatedly diving in front of me every time I pull the heresy trigger. I'm going to start airbrushing and I just want to check this is a good place to start. So he sent a link for a starter bundle at Element Games, which was I think it was an iWAT and Neo and what was the
I'm just trying to dig. I'm trying to dig the message.
It was a
up,
compressor
yeah.
I'm not familiar with. It's one of those small, compact ones, and I think the combined. Yeah, I think the combined kit was about.
Who was the message from, man?
From James and Lewis.
James and Lewis. Where's the message?
It's in our messages.
It's not. Grant, Carl, Adam, Rob, Richard, Jack, Hollis.
Maybe it's an email. I don't know. I've got.
It was an email. I'm sure it was. Yes, it was an email. It's not.
There we go.
Fucking. I cannot get the staff these days.
You're
Hinge 93.
You're really
that's
not
it.
good with technology, are you?
You saw the presentation at the
Yes,
start,
I
and I
did,
managed
yes.
to crash halfway through and then go through. So yeah, cool. So 150 quid, and iWater. So you get the Neo Air compressor and you get a Neo brush. Now the Neo brush is great.
Yeah. I've already replied and basically said that. So the brush is great.
Yeah.
I just don't know with the compressor.
So the interesting thing, so we had this question with the compressor. So it was a conversation I had with Mr. Steele the other weekend. So we were obviously all at the infantry course, and I was lucky enough. Me and Carl shared a compressor, and he got a nice Sparmax, a real smart Sparmax compressor with 2 lines, which is why we decided to share it because we could both run off one, save transport. And the chap pulled opposite us had literally, I think it looked like something like a Neo Air.
Yeah.
So we were talking, I was talking to Henry and he was saying, because he's got an A186 Fox Hunter that is the one I generally recommend to people. It's the one I've got. Have you got the one with the tank
it's
now?
very similar. Yeah, I don't think it's called a Fox Hunter anymore, but I've got a basic one and I got one with a tank.
It's somebody who's making them in China and they're selling them to all the companies. If you look at some of the Sparmax stuff, it's what's inside a Sparmax.
Yeah.
Because if you take the cover off, it's the same. You can pick up a Sparmax you can pick up that compressor for less than 80
My
quid.
one with a tank,
was
$69.99, and they're not always that cheap, but that was eBay.
If you shop around under 80 quid, you can pick that up for.
And I got 2 brushes, the basic
Chinese airbrushes.
I got 2 with it, and that's pretty much what I said in my reply. Look at one of those, or if
by the time you bought the Neo and one of those, you're still cheaper.
Still get the message was still buy the Neo.
Yeah,
but you're going to be looking around the same cost.
And you'll get a compressor with a
tank.
tank.
And we can tell you this compressor will be fine. The thing he's mentioned could be great, but I've got no experience with it.
But it's interesting, no conversation. So obviously I'm a big convert of having a tank. And Henry's got the tank one, and he was like, when this dies, I'm not buying one. I'm buying one like you used to have without the tank. And he said, why'd you buy it? And I was like, well, you need a tank. He said, why? I said, well, it's quiet. He was like, is it? I was like, actually, to be fair, mine runs
all the time.
Almost all the time.
Yeah.
The only time it stops is when I'm not airbrushing, which I can flick the switch of it. And
it doesn't hold much in that tank. I thought I was doing something wrong when I first did it. I thought it must be something I've done wrong because it doesn't seem to ever run without the tank.
Yeah. So at that end, I might be tempted not to buy the tank because you can pick up the one without the tank for like 30, 40 quid.
Yeah.
Quite cheap. I might be. The only thing that's swaying me was Carl's Sparmax one was lovely, and I didn't even hear it run all weekend.
Yeah. Well, so it's obviously about spending a bit more.
But you're talking, he'll say that was about 300 quid compressor.
Yeah.
That was a lot of money, and even he's like, I don't know if I needed all of that. But
you're paying for silence, aren't you? For large periods of silence.
Yeah. He's the nicest man in Heresy. Come and jump on a microphone.
All right.
And here's the huggiest man in Heresy, Mr. Collister.
I've lost weight, damn it.
That doesn't mean you're any good. That's good to hug.
Me.
How did it go with you two?
Yeah, not bad actually. It was fought on a 1x4.
1x4 to fight in a corner.
Yeah, that one corridor was very red and then also very black because everyone had flamers.
Everybody had flamers. Did your 10-man flamer squad do what they did?
Yeah. They burned his Terminators and his Galvos.
Did you get out flamered with your Ashen Circle?
No.
You got World Burner, so you went strength 4 with the flamers.
Strength 4 shredding flamers.
Yeah, so they took out a vet squad, a flamer squad, and it's a couple of Terminators.
The Ashen Circle I think they actually made their points back, which is it's a first, I'm not going to lie.
These kids, they come up with these whack units.
Yeah, buddy. It's not like they're 315 points for 10 Assault Marines.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. So who took the victory in the end? Victory for the nicest man in Heresy.
I know. It's not every day, but I'll take it when I can.
Bloody, it was good.
That's good. How did you find it?
Reputation shattered.
Swung loads.
Swung loads. It was a good, fun game.
Yeah, and we barely did any Instagram phase, which shows
Yeah.
it's a good game.
I love that. Yeah, I always do that. Take pictures in the first round at deployment and then forget for the rest of the game.
100% what happens. Got to like the fourth turn or something. It's like, oh, we've taken 2 pictures each.
Yeah.
This is obviously a good game. So
because we didn't take much after the first phase, did we, Dan? It was like, oh shit, man. Then I think I took 2 pictures in our game.
Yeah.
I was saying about that. I said you said you were Dreadnought, the disaster with the Dreadnought, but
It's
Bless.
the dice, the amount of best laid plans and all that.
yeah, exactly. We were saying in the end, it's still a dice game. You still got to throw dice.
if you roll all ones, you'll lose.
yeah, exactly.
You know, it doesn't matter what list you take.
If you roll tactical squads and do some editing on a video,
Well, that was unedited, honestly. Didn't you see the seamless?
it was utterly seamless.
Even with whack dice on a whack pad, still.
Yeah, Wargamers against all cancers.
Yeah.
Wargamers against all
It's a
cancers.
good cause.
Honestly, actually, in all seriousness, that is actually I didn't know about it till the other day, and that's a real cool. Go and check
that
out
is really
Wargamers
cool.
against all
I'll send you the
cancers.
link, you put it in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll stick it in the show notes and a link to. They do the whack dice, which are brilliant.
I've got a
Spot
whack
on.
T-shirt from that very
Well, the
thing.
best thing is Dan came down with his new dice pad and he gets his new whack dice out, and we sat around the table and he flings one in there, 6, whack. Picks another one up, 6, whack. Tom Henry picks them both up, rolls them, 2 6s, whack. So, oh really, Dan? These new dice you bought? Luckily, I picked them up and rolled 2 2s with them. I broke them. Strunt put his lay down. He's not having. What you got to do actually? I've noticed Wanless is here with his double 6.
Ah, yeah.
He is here with his
really?
double 6. He is here with it. And when I went up to him and said, "Where's your double 6?" He went, "Yeah, it's." Oh, I don't know where it is. It's in my dice. I was like, oh, really?
So that one in for the leadership test by accident.
Do you know what? If I had double-sided 6 dice, that's when I'd pick them up for leadership tests. It would just screw me. Geno dice are guaranteed to disappoint.
Someone seized on me.
Did he seize on you with a big?
Seized on me.
Yeah, big black dice. Seize.
I have a result.
What did you score, Mr. Richards?
I scored 24 campaign points.
So did you win?
Yes.
Cool. A win for the Blood Angels. Cool.
And I now have.
Yes, we got you winning. I've just put a win in for you for every game, Brendan. Does Brendan lose games?
It's been arranged.
5, 4 attacks, salty tears, and disintegrator.
So Johnny's been making the most of it.
Who gets,
What was that? You got a disintegrator gun?
A disintegrator gun from Point of Interest, and then I got 10
Experience points. Yeah, so you've got leveled him up. So what's he got?
So he's
Strength.
got +1 toughness, +1 attack.
Tough 5 attack, Blade of Salty Tears, Chaplain.
4 attacks, 1 attack.
4 attacks, Chaplain with a disintegrator gun and a blaze. You're a fucking
And he's
bastard.
also got a command trait coordinated assault, so when my dread calls deep strike in,
Yeah.
stuff like that, you can reroll the scatterdice on it.
So you've got re-rolling scaff.
You need to call him Moriar.
He is. It's not Warden Steel though, is it?
No, this is a Mario.
Mario has already won honour. Which battlefield were you fighting on?
ZM2 on the Catacombs of Gaia.
So he struck himself a legend in the Catacombs of Gaia. Nice. Cool. Have we answered the airbrush question?
I think we have.
Cool. I
We
think
have.
we'll take a break now because.
Hang on 1 second. He wants to give a shout out. See, if you read the show notes,
I
Tom,
don't
You
read
guys
the
aren't
show notes.
amateurs, are you? You know what you're doing.
Right. Go and check out Horus Heresy Birmingham. New Horus Heresy group up in the West Midlands. So go and check those out. There's a Facebook page.
There
I
is.
definitely know that.
You don't hear a lot coming from that part of the country.
No,
do
it's
you?
good. There's a bit of a gap between the Peterborough, the North, the Peterborough, the Incom puddle of fun, and maybe London.
We're nice, really.
Well,
I'm nice, really.
yeah. So go and check out Horus Heresy Birmingham. I mean, Birmingham's massive, right in the centre. So go and check it out. So we're going to roll for a break because we're going to be coming up to the end of the round, and we will catch up with you guys in a bit.
Geno52 is sponsored by Incom Gaming, the new centre for tabletop wargaming in Gloucestershire. Visit incomgaming.co.uk for great savings on pre-orders and all your hobby needs. We stock many gaming systems and hobby accessories and can ship to anywhere in the UK. Incom Gaming is the only UK stockists of the market-leading gaming mats from GameMats.eu. Visit the store and check out how to turn your tabletop into a battlefield. Incom Gaming is based in the centre of Cheltenham and offers tables and scenery for casual and organised play with a fully licensed bar. Check out our events page for upcoming events where everyone is welcome. Save an additional 10% on Games Workshop Heresy products by using the code Geno52 at the checkout. Visit incomgaming.co.uk and help fight the betrayal. Incom Gaming. Come game, shop, drink. To shop elsewhere is heresy.
I'd be worried if I was him with the old credit score with you.
Yeah, luckily PayPal doesn't.
You're actually better off with a PayPal account because it tells you when I've drawn money out of it.
It does. You get an email.
I share more with you than I do with Faye. I share a bank account with Faye. I share email addresses, social media.
I'm recording now, by the way. I'll send her this later.
I actually have more stuff shared with you because we don't share social media accounts. We don't share email addresses.
That would be weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah. You see people who've got like, it's me and my wife's social media account.
I do like your is it pugs on your bedspread, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's in charge of home decoration? Not fucking me.
You're wondering how I know that. It's because Faye follows Geno, so we see her posts, and she posted a picture of your bedroom.
Yeah.
With a dog on the bed.
Yeah, not me in it.
Or with dogs on the bed.
That was the kids' bedroom.
That was
because she was working up in the kids' bedroom. So.
Oh, that's not. I did think that was a slightly odd choice of decor for a grown man and woman.
Well, look, allegedly.
I made a simple deal when I bought the house. I got the one small bedroom upstairs, which is completely full of paint and shit, and she got the entire rest of the house to do whatever the fuck she wants in.
It's a fair cop.
I'm more than pleased with that. You know, it's all good. So
you got to have a man cave, haven't you?
Should I introduce this bit after?
Well, you can do if you want.
You're just going to start this, aren't
we
you?
can start it with you talking about pugs on your bedspread.
Yeah, let's go. Well, anyway, I'll give an update because I imagine this is just going to go in the Tarssis section, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Can you see what it's like recording with me?
I was under no illusions. You're wearing clothes. This is the only thing to
So anyway, as you probably guessed, it's now 10 o'clock at night. Tarssis 4 is well on the way.
Everyone's guessed. Everyone listening has guessed it's about 10 o'clock at night. Yeah.
I'm well on the way. What are we drinking? Boondoggle.
I'm not. I finished mine.
Where's your boondoggle? Sean.
I don't. Oh, I might.
You have another boondoggle. We're going to be.
I'll have one more. I'm driving early in the morning.
I feel really bad because I keep yelling at Sean.
I've got boring as a father. I'm thinking about, if I keep drinking till midnight.
Yeah, but I feel bad because I keep yelling at Sean, who's heavily pregnant, to bring us drinks.
So you've just yelled at her again because you feel bad about it?
Yeah. It's 10 o'clock. I've been drinking for 11 and a half hours. I'm smoking a cigar and I don't smoke. I'm having a good day. Strump is in full force. So
it's dark and you're wearing sunglasses.
There's literally the only thing missing, wouldn't it? So I'm going to introduce. We are joined in the studio.
I've got my sunglasses actually.
I had some lost and found sunglasses. I can't find. We're joined in the studio by lead head honcho of the narrative from Peterborough, Mr. Paul Mulder. Now, Mr. Dan Collister is with us in the studio. It's your first podcast appearance?
It is. It is very much.
You've elevated from number one fanboy to appearance.
I wouldn't say number one fanboy. I just tolerate you.
I turned up at greetings, and you were the first person I saw owning a Geno shirt that wasn't one of the Geno members.
It's the only place you can find one fat enough for me. It's fine.
We did do a good line of fat shirts. And we are also joined by Mr. If Dawn Was Dutch, Mr. Paul Mulder. And I'm never going to do that accent again. I'm really sorry.
No, please don't.
Talking into the microphones are terrible. You actually do need to talk into them.
It's your only chance of being heard of.
Yeah, you won't be heard of.
Because I can't change these levels post-edit, so it's...
It's all secondary. We're here with him, really.
Like many people in Tom's life.
I've had a good time. What else is to worry about? How was day one for you two?
Brilliant, yeah.
You've put them on the spot a little bit.
No pressure. Mr. Collins.
It was
bear in mind if you say it was terrible, we can edit it out. So yeah.
No, if it's terrible, it stopped me having to fucking do these things again.
How would your rampant ego survive that?
Look, my ego has got no correlation to what people think. It's completely self-fulfilling.
It's either do events or like get a balloon made or something. So I
don't look good in a diaper.
I can only imagine. No, it's been a really, really good day. It's been very, very chilled.
Johnny,
what
that is a
Johnny
hell
just
of a
come down
tank
in a
top.
tight pink or tight salmon.
Johnny,
Beater.
Johnny, have you got your unicorn top with you for tomorrow?
Do you know what? That hit a recycling pile or a charity pile.
Did your girlfriend make that hit?
No.
You gave it up?
Yeah.
It's just really bad because this is another one of these one-sided conversations where you don't talk into a microphone and I yell at people.
For the best.
It's probably for the best.
Not a whole lot dissimilar to most of the podcasts.
No. I wouldn't say most of the cast, I say most of my life.
Granted. But but back to the event. It's been great. More than anything, I can say it's been very relaxed. It's a very, very chilled atmosphere.
It's been the doubles was quite frantic because we had 68 players to get through it, and we were a little heavy on admin for that one. We've worked a lot on reducing the admin for the event staff, and I think with us being a bit more chilled, we've been able to be a bit. It's chilled the environment a bit.
It's allowed to just get them a lot more drunk, yes.
Yeah, it's basically sat drunk. But it also means we're available to help you guys more.
We haven't done that. We just sat around drinking.
I run around telling people all the things I forgot to tell them at the briefings. I literally ran off at one point screaming something. I came back, she was like, what were you yelling about? I was like, I didn't tell them what mission they were playing at the briefing, so I thought I had to run around the building and tell them. So
I think generally everyone's made their own way with it, though. They've not really needed much guidance. It's been good like that. The level of interaction has been, I don't know, slightly more hands-off. You've been able to allow people to sort of create their own games and get on with it. It's almost like that cross between sort of an event and almost like garage gaming. It's been good for that. Really good.
Yeah, so I cleanly stole off you the idea of a book. So I came up to your event a couple of months ago, and the first thing we walked in is you handed us a book with all the information in, all the missions in, and the book's your Bible for the day, really. It takes you through it. And especially at our event where we've added a few more layers than you guys are having. So we had the Warlord traits, the points of interest system, the Warlord advancements, ZM missions. To be able to hand you a book and say, look, it's all in there, crack on. And we've only been picked up for a couple of questions on odd things. So I made a mistake in the first game, I think I've talked about already. Like we had a deployment map with no man's land, and the copy and paste, so the first paragraph in all the missions is the same. It's
place objectives in no man's land.
Outside of and it was like, there's no fucking no man's land. So but everyone just kind of worked. By the time I went round, I realised, went round inside of it, I was like, yeah, we'd already figured that out. We're just going to do that anyway, which was really nice.
You're only human, and the first thing when you're writing an events pack is you play spot the mistake after you've got it printed. It's always after. There's always something. I mean, our first one we did, the margins ended up on the wrong sides because there were some printing errors, so everything looked bad. But it happens. It happens. It's been really good, and everything is in there. And as we discussed earlier, I think having everything up front isn't necessarily to the detriment of the game because we're not playing competitive gaming. It gives no one an edge.
There's no advantage to knowing. And so the other thing I took from you guys was the splitting narrative. So round one, everyone plays the same mission. Round two, depending on the result, you play A or B. Round three was the same, and it will continue to split and branch. So I know that all I've got to do is say, right, this is what's happened in this round, so you're playing that, and it allows the narrative, the players' games to affect the way the narrative goes. Without, I know when I talked to the Edge of Empire guys, their narrative, they had at the end they had the original draft of their branching narrative have 96 end possibilities, and they were like, we can't work this out. And I think they did 13 in the end, and 13 separate missions at the end. I mean, a lot of them were tweaks. Was one mission tweaked either way, but it was still a lot of work for them, and there's a lot of room for errors in there.
I can't speak for them, but I think in that situation, the quality would suffer if I was doing it. I couldn't maintain a level of quality over 96 different variations on an ending.
It's simply too many missions to write. It's very hard to create. But
was it mainly fluff that they wrote different at the end? Or
no, there were variations on the mission. So these ones. So there was a draw. If we came into the last round draw, we played this mission. If it was one win either side, one side would have a slight advantage on that same mission, and it would expand that way. The advantage getting bigger until you got to quite the extreme ends, where the missions would then dramatically change to reflect how much the swing of the game is. It was really it's frustration because. Like, I've written these missions in the narrative, and half of it's going to get ignored. The Edge of Empire guys wrote fucking tons of narrative that got ignored because it didn't get it. It's a very hard thing we've talked about over the course of the day. How do you add in narrative without overcomplicating the event? Okay. So we've got quite a bit of bookkeeping going with the the extra side missions, the points of interest in the Warlord. There's a lot to keep up with, so you don't necessarily need to overcomplicate it. I mean, if you can hear in the background banging and crashing, it's because Chip's putting a fucking Raj of Strump away. All you can eat curry buffet. That went down well.
Too much curry.
That's way too much curry.
Tomorrow is going to be unpleasant for all.
I'll be interested.
Everywhere.
Talking about fluff, actually. So
does anybody want any more curry?
Fucking hell.
We've just had a second delivery. Part 2's arrived.
Round 2.
Where's the Fabians?
Do you know what the Fabians have done their duty? To be fair to them, they've had a fucking good crack at it, and there's still a lot left.
The last couple of events we've put on sort of fluff clips at the beginning of each round and things, and some people said it was too much, some people said it wasn't enough. Most people glazed over when it was played at the beginning of the rounds because people are just like wanting to go and play the games. So we made a different decision this time of have one slightly longer piece of fluff, which was written by Pete Uplander.
It was written by me and then turned
about
into
4
something
of your
that was,
words left in the top.
It was written by me and turned into something legible, intelligent, and good by Pete.
And read by Pete as well. Yeah, it's his voice. So did you guys listen to it in the group? Could you hear it here when we had it on loop, or is it not something you've had chance to? More of an interesting rather than kind of saying, have you listened to it?
I picked it up this morning because you posted it quite late last night.
Yeah, we got into bed at
it's
midnight.
just verbalise what's written in the event in the pack anyway.
I managed to get on Facebook last night, and this morning it was already too loud in the courtyard.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the reasons again why we didn't play the loop, because people. I had it on a loop all morning this morning. I'll do the same tomorrow.
Chat through it.
Yeah,
it's too interesting to talk to other people instead of
that is one of the things with these events. Yeah. These are social occasions. One of the things I've talked about is there's only a X amount of people playing Heresy in this country. There are a group of those who travel. I mean, the majority of these people here tonight are people I see regularly at UK events. There is a bit of a crowd that travels to the events. So a lot of us only time we see each other is at events. So there is an element of, actually, I do want to catch them social. I mean, I see you, DC, at events. I see the Sons of Heresy guys at events. You know, so I do chat to you on Facebook and stuff. But it's nice to have a chat face to face. So that we didn't want to. I don't want to take away from the social element, because one of the things that really is great about these events is we all catch up, we all get to hang out, we all see each other. I mean, I get to watch the Fabians rack up the world's biggest bar bill and try and play board games, and you know, we get to see Killer just raging about Dark Angels. You know, there are things outside of it that do. If you overwhelm the event with narrative, people are not going to enjoy it because they're not going to get to do those things that make the event.
The social part of it.
It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see when we have the feedback surveys this time whether people will think, because before, as I said, we've had not enough narrative, too much narrative, or not delivered the right way. And this time it's all there, but you kind of have to go away and engage with it yourself. Yes, it was on loop, but you can listen to it in the group. It's first in the private group, now it's gone out publicly. You can read it in the pack, and then there's fluff on each sort of round you can look at. It'd be interesting to see if that's enough for people, and whether the kind of laid back event occasion is enough, or is enough for the people that really want the fluff are really engaged in it, looking at it, or whether the fact that the event is full of beer and sort of relaxed chatter takes over.
Well,
I'm not sure which is right.
What we have done between rounds, where we've dropped the videos, is I'm standing up and part of the briefing is I'm giving the narrative overview as part of the presentation. I'm explaining what's doing, which is great because I can kind of spin it my own way. I could throw comments in about people's games. Whereas before we've recorded we have to prepare the narrative in the videos before the event. You're fixed to what that can do. So it's also restricted our ability to change that. And one of the feedbacks we had is like, the games went this way, but the narrative kept going at a slightly different tangent. So the good thing is with the splitting narrative structure and the way I'm presenting it, I can wrap the feel of the games into the event.
That's definitely a way that when we run them, I approach it in a very similar way.
Yeah, well,
keep it slightly loose and fluffy, to use the word, but it leaves just enough ambiguity to if there's a slight throw in the results of a game,
you can twist it. And it's political spinning.
I think there's enough. You've done enough. There's enough fluff going on, and I do like the more multimedia approach. I think you're the only event that really does do the videos. And
no. If you go to 30k Frontier,
they do it properly.
Ben and Pete down there. One of the other reasons I stepped back our multimedia approaches because when I saw how Ben and Pete did it, they are absolutely head and shoulders. I mean,
we haven't got the skill. Ben does it for a living.
Ben does it for a living, and it's so far beyond. And I realised that actually to make it effective, it needs to be at that level, and I can't achieve that.
The environment's
So
different, isn't
yeah,
it?
I don't
They
wanna
are in hotels, sort of effectively seminar rooms that you can book out. So the equipment's all there. People are sitting down looking at it, whereas here's a very, very different vibe and environment. And I'm not sure the two would work well together.
I definitely think this is a social event as well as it's got much more of a social feel to it than some of the others I've been to.
Well, one of the things I was talking to Chip about earlier was like 75% of the people attending I've met before. Nearly everybody I've chatted to before, I've kind of hired the pub for my personal party for the weekend, and it's what what I love. It feels to me like I've got my mates together. I'm throwing a bit of a bash for my mates.
And then charged your mates to come to it.
Well, they've paid. Well, the thing is,
paid for his pleasure as well.
But what you've done, because every penny goes back into the event, you've paid for it to be for the printing, for the prizes, for the tables, for the venue.
To have the venue to yourself, so it's not open as a nightclub tonight. It's quite a big thing. That's where a lot of the money's gone.
We could have come down here on a Saturday, 10 of us, and played, but we would have the corner of the pub, and we've got free run here, you know, and we're just doing what we want. And I mean, the door's shut. We've got basically an entire nightclub pub venue for Heresy for the weekend, and we're not having to compromise anything because, I mean, we've done it when we've done the Tarssis before. Generally, the pub's open on Saturday night, so we'd have to pack tables down. And then you have this kind of an hour or two, couple hours where everyone goes off for dinner and splits, and then we sort of don't really know where everybody is, and it never really converges. The nice thing is, like, I think a fair few people have moved on now. They've gone on. It's been a long day. Been here since 9. You know, it's now.
Quite a few people have heavy nights last night.
Yeah,
seems to be the new trend for Tarssis is to lose your shit on a Friday night, so you can't function on a Saturday. But
it's so we've kind of got everybody together. It's nice. I was sat eating my curry and I was chatting to Dunk Cormac, and I looked around and like everyone's in groups having a chat. Everyone's having a beer. The games are ended. People are talking about the games. They're talking about shit. They're talking about the day. And everyone's kind of milling about and having a bit of a debrief on the day. Some people are then like, right, I've had some food. I'm going to move on. Some people are like, you know, there's what, 15, 16 of us sat in here now. You know, like 15, 20 of us sat around having a few beers in the evening. And it's great because it's kept that social feel going. Whereas before we normally split. And a few of us get back together and you lose people and it gets awkward, or you have a really big fucking meal and it's hard to administrate and everyone sort of like dinner takes ages. We just kind of all sat around, and by the time the games were finished, everyone sort of comes out, grabs a drink, curry was served, everyone had curry, talked. You know, it's been really. I've loved the Tarssis events. The build up to this one has been probably the most stressful one I've done. I think I've put a lot of pressure on making it even better. We've had a lot of dropouts, so if you do want to come to a Tarssis event, you miss tickets. I've had 15 dropouts on this one, which is all perfectly valid. People like shit come up. It is always worth getting in touch and getting on the reserve list. A couple of the Worcester boys who came down weren't on the reserve list. When I reserved it, I sort of went into my network and started talking to people. And they're like, oh yeah, great. And I said to me, so why didn't you put in your reserve? Oh, we didn't. We think we'd get on. Get on. If it is a big ask sometimes if you're a week out and I have to say, look, we're a week out. Can you get here for the weekend?
Yeah.
But if you can do it, we do burn through reserves because life does get in the way and things change, especially for a weekender. So, no, it's been good. And just watching the carnage going on cleaning up the fucking curry.
That's a lot of curry. That's an awful lot of curry.
Yeah. Well, we ordered 4 extra than the people have ordered. 4 people, and it's a curry house Chip used to work for. And when he's done it before, he was like, yeah, they're always coming way too much food. But it's about 5 or 6 years since we've done this. So we're like, we're not sure if they maybe calmed down. You've had the pickles. It's a bit late for that. So we were like, we'll order a bit extra, because the worst thing would be if people had bought food and they got to the it's not really a lot left. Like, I'd rather have too much left over at the end. But yeah, we saw it, and Chip was like, I could probably order for 10 less, and we still had way too much food. Like, people have gone off with plenty of packs of food and curry and stuff. So, cool. So, I kind of butted straight in on that, which is what I do.
Naturally.
As you do, yeah.
Paul, how's your day been? Because you've made a big travel. Come over from
the Netherlands,
Europe.
Assen, the Netherlands.
Yeah,
which
come over
is
from the Netherlands.
about 30 minutes from the major city Groningen.
I'm glad you said that.
It's a lot of butchering. You did in the 2nd or 3rd episode, in which I sent in the question and you actually murdered my name. Yeah, that was great. But I came out last week on Friday.
Yeah, you went down the path and you
I went to Path to Confrontation, organized by Confrontation Events and Emperor's Path, so Sam, which was great. It was a hot box there. 32 degrees.
You had a hotter weekend than we've got.
That was horrible there. But great games there. Met some great people. Had a few days off as a vacation.
Yeah.
Came up here on Thursday.
Yeah.
Thank you, British Rail.
Absolutely
amazing service. So I got here on Thursday, helped you set up with some tables, had some fun board games.
We play Gretchen, which is one of the mentalist games we've ever
hilarious.
played. No one knows how the rules work. The rules don't actually work, so we've had to patch it.
The rules don't apply. It's Gretchen, it's orcs.
I was just throwing dice around and screaming, "Wow!"
Yeah. So that was fantastic. Yesterday we started playing some casual pre-Tarsis games early.
Yeah.
Drinking started early. That was great. And today was absolutely fantastic. I had 2 amazing games. Carl Word Bearers and Duncan with his World Eaters. Especially against Duncan. That was just a mad game.
Yeah.
Templar Brethren sallying forth from a Land Raider. Turn 3. Smashing through 4 squads of World Eaters. Absolutely amazing game. That will be a great saga at the end of the event.
Get it written down.
And my last game against Joe Fabian, Zombertellis, I got absolutely hammered. I could not roll a single 2-up armor save for the life of me. But he was so drunk, it was amazing. It was
the Fabian. I don't know where the Fabians are gone, but
I was talking to him just after the end of that.
Today, but they already have a reputation with me. Those guys can drink. Yeah. So I've had a great day. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Not looking forward to the results of the curry. But,
it's going to be smelly tomorrow.
Yeah, phosphax everyone.
I'm glad we're going to be outside again.
I'm going to be sat out. No, because the thing is, I'm going to be the worst one.
No roof.
Well, I'm definitely glad we're outside then.
We know when we came and picked you up this morning, I was already pretty gassy after pizzas and shit yesterday. As we're driving over, we get in the car, the wife hands me a Wendy's. Have this because you're going to hurt somebody today. We did have a little moment, didn't we, when we were sat out here, and I did a fart.
And when you shit yourself?
I didn't shit myself. I came very close.
You made a play of that was close, but you ran away.
No. I genuinely thought I'd shit myself. I hadn't, but I did a very wet fart and went, I'm going to go upstairs and have a shit now.
Hashtag Tom really shit himself.
I didn't shit myself. I came a lot closer than I've done for many years. Do you know what? This event really appeals to a certain type because you've got to kind of have you've got to have an attitude towards your weekend here, and I appreciate this does it. But we talk about the boozing and stuff, but there is a lot of people. You don't have.
Not everyone here is drunk.
Yeah. I'm probably one of the more drunk, but I'm in charge of shit. This to me,
doesn't make any sense.
This to me is the highlight of my hobby year this weekend. It causes me no end of grief. Honestly, Thursday I was setting up tables and I was thinking, why am I bothering? I'm so stressed. I've so much to think about. And the Saturday rolled round and we threw the first game down. Everyone started. I mean, I was up till midnight on Thursday doing matchups. I was trying not to get shot by your wife. Your son already asked why I'm coming round. I don't need your wife saying what the fuck you're doing because I'm spoiling your date night before. You've got to have a date night in, so before you get the weekend off. And I'm like, this is really hard work. This is really tough. But I've said it before with other tasks. I put all the graft in before, and we put the rounds up. And we put the match up. And I've basically sat and just chilled all day. It's been really, really good. But it's as an event organizer, it's really tough. But the payoff is today. I've had a fucking wicked day, and just everything seemed to have run, and a lot of the people haven't. There's been no sort of bickering. There's been questions about rules because I write custom missions and stuff. But generally, people are like, does it work this way? I'm like, well, is that what you and your opponent want? Yeah, fucking run it that way then, because I don't bloody know. Just play the game you want to play, you know. And it's all pandered out to the point where we have spent most of the day sat around bullshitting, having some beers, chatting to people, and taking pictures and having fun, which is as fun for me. I love going to events and playing. This is a different kind of fun. This is it's great seeing people enjoying it. I mean, Johnny in the first game, his Warlord picked up enough XP to get +1 attack, +1 toughness. So he's got a toughness 5, 4 attack chaplain with a disintegrator gun as well. You know, he just fucking rolled, and he's already got a blade of salty tears on that.
Pretty
guy.
much finished off a Warhound Titan.
His chaplain killed a Warhound.
I think it took about 6 of its hull points.
Yeah,
over 2 different rounds.
He ran
it ran away. Well, not ran away, but walked away from the combat.
It punched the shit out of a Warhound. So Warhound Titan's not too much at 3k if you've got a chaplain with all the fucking XP on it in the world. So yeah, no, it's been really good. I've genuinely really enjoyed the day. So it's been for you, Stu, because you kind of.
It's been easy today.
You don't do the front end stuff really.
No,
you do the back
easy.
end stuff.
Well, we're normally the biggest change for me is that we're not.
He's always in my back end.
That's what she said. Yeah.
That's what she said.
Biggest change is where we've situated our desk for running everything. Normally we're tucked around the corner inside because it's the summer we're out here, and it means I've had more conversations with people than I did the last couple of times, because normally everyone goes out into the yard and hangs out after the games, and I'm sat at the other end up by the shop not talking to anyone, waiting for people to come and give me their scores. So I've had a lot more conversations with this Tarssis than I have with anyone else, which is good, because normally you save it for the evening when you go out, and like you said, people split off, they go for meals at different places because you can't book a fucking table in Cheltenham on a Saturday night for 40, 50 people. A lot more time sort of having conversations and getting to know people and stuff, so it's been really good today.
Yeah, I mean a big shout out as well to Chip and Sean and Kim who have run the bar and done table service all day and kept people filled up with drinks.
Well, we've got an 8-month pregnant young lady
who's basically been yelled at by a lot of sweaty nurses to bring a beer. That's really not good, but no, it's been really, really good.
I honestly think she's actually here to keep people in line. I'm far more scared of her than I am of Chip.
Sean and Kim run the place. Me and Chip have to listen to what we're told. But
Someone's got to.
What? I was just saying we're far more scared of Sean and Kim than you. Yeah,
totally agree. Agrees. Yeah,
totally agree.
Silence us all.
Yeah, it's been good, man. It's I'm fucked, to be honest. I'm knackered now, but it's been really, really good. So, how have you found the points of interest and Warlord system? Because obviously it's something we've taken from the Horus and developed for our system. We don't run the NPCs like those guys do because I don't have the time to create the models, and at 36 players, I don't have the time to generate enough NPCs if everyone generates them. But the Warlord system seems to have worked really well. Everyone who's used it has got progression and stuff.
The Warlord system, I think it's quite good in its basics.
Yeah.
But you need to remind people that there is a Warlord system, because I only remembered it after the second round. Like, I got to do all my administration, and then I found out I had +1 wound and +1 strength, which made my delegate strength 10 on the charts with a solar power gauntlet. So yeah, that would have helped quite a bit.
It's hard. One of the things me and Stu have discussed is we're going to chop out a few other bits to just
especially the side quests were quite
there's loads
swinging on the results in the
killing
points.
And people aren't recording them as well because there's a lot of admin.
It's a lot of
10-inch charge or more kind of one. You forget that in a game and stuff.
Yeah, so I think we're going to look at probably maybe not for the next one, which is going to be 3.5, 4K kind of laid back, but I think for the next year's big weekender we'll look at the administration of the event for players to do it. But the Warlord and points of interest are optional, but the one thing, like I did say at the start, if you don't do it all weekend and you run into somebody who has, you might find a bit of a mismatch. But
it's been different for me because my delegate he's a straw man. Let's put it that way. He's a bit shit. He's not done anything. Or my chaplain's a proper slayer.
But your chaplain could have been your Warlord. But
but I've got delegatus, Master of the Legion. He's supposed to be the boss. So thematically, delegatorship, but he's blatantly Lieutenant Gorman from Alien springs to mind. He's, how many combat drops? No, not so good.
I mean, you could do what Tom did in the first game and run around with your Praetor, your Praetor, and pick up three points of interest and get 3 rad scores, and end up with a toughness 1 fucking Praetor who's getting instant death by bolter fire.
No, my first game it was against Callum, and we went mission. What mission? We just literally could have played in a 1 foot by 3 foot little space, and we just smashed the living shit out of each other for 6 turns.
Yeah.
And in the end, he had more flamers than I did and won.
Who knew? Ashen Circle OP in Zone Mortalis.
No, Asher Circle, underpriced and overpowered. Absolutely.
No, he rolled World Burner, and that's what the problem with that was. He went to strength 4 shred on like 20 guys with flamers in Zone Mortalis.
With jump packs so they can get to you quickly.
Everything was painted in blood and ash. It was ridiculous. It came down to a tabling, but he had so little left. It was barely worth mentioning anyway. It was a brilliant game though. So much fun. Nicest man in Heresy. and his little.
You say he's the nicest man in Heresy. He tabled two people in the first 2 games with his OP Ashen Circle.
But his little attacker stratagems, the fireflies, or whatever they
fire
call
wasps.
Fire wasps, made like 15 mil Sicarans, Harry's Prince. They're amazing.
Yeah,
They're so
those
cool.
are great.
It's almost like you've seen Batteries Not Included. It's like punching one of those little robots to death. But you feel good doing it.
No, yeah. So one of the other things we threw, if this was the stratagem points for ZM, we haven't run them before. So 4 stratagem points, and people have really looked at them and been, cool, yeah. You've got a defensive emplacement for your fist, haven't you? Which gave you a 4-up cover save.
Yeah, which I ran out of and then started combat with. It was completely pointless. But it was an opportunity to paint something cool.
Yeah, no, it's been good. He's given a little modelling opportunity to say, I'll build something up for this. So there were stratagems that don't require you to build stuff. There were stratagems that require you to have models for them, and it's given people who wanted to do it an option to build a little fire wasp or a defensive emplacement and stuff.
It helps if you don't forget to actually bring the models to your tray.
There's only so much I can do for people. I mean, I have been guilty of blood and glory of forgetting 500 points worth of Terminators and a Land Raider. So, and they were literally on my trolley next to me. So it does happen, but there we go. I think we'll call it quits there then, and maybe see if we can grab some more other people.
Has your performance been letting you down recently? Have your bombs been jettisoned before your mission was complete? Do you find yourself accidentally rolling too early? Has your bag dropped its load before the game? Then Grayed Out Productions have the answer. Michael's handcrafted dice bags are a must-have for any tabletop gamer prone to spilling their pearlescent gaming A's before they're ready. Why not check out Grayed Out Dice Bags on Facebook, at their website at www.gradeoutproductions.com, or find them on Etsy. Grayed Out Productions are the only place where you can get the official Geno52 podcast dice bag, and Geno listeners can get 10% discount by entering Geno52, all in words, at the checkout in the Etsy store. Get control of your load today.
It is the morning. There are a few just cloudy look. Yeah, just say the morning. It's before lunchtime. The barbecue has been fired up. There are a few cloudy heads that are clearing now, but we are back for the second day of Tarssis 4. I like it's Tarssis 4, and everyone thinks it's a 4th event. It's not. It's been Tarssis 4 for 5 events now. I think it'll be a 6-event series. It's all been Tarssis 4.
It has.
It was only ever supposed to be Tarssis 4. Then the second event was Tarssis 3, Tarssis 2, and then Tarssis.
You could have gone Tarssis 4, Tarssis 4 2, Tarssis 4 3.
Yeah, and I just forgot to change the numbers on
Tarssis 4 3 or Tarssis 43. Oh.
I've just forgotten to change the numbers on them, and it's become Tarssis 4 forever. So yeah, we are fighting. Narratively, the Loyalists have.
They're edging it, aren't they?
They're edging it slightly. We had a drawn round, a couple of close rounds, but the traitors managed to draw the overconfident Loyalists away from the walls, slipping round the back, and have broken into the starport. The Loyalists did rally in the last round of the game and held their advance off. So what's happened is that's now fucked the evacuation, because everyone's had to divert off to fight the fires over there. So now the Loyalists are desperately selling their lives and holding ground to prevent, to give time for the evacuation to get out. So they're desperately holding ground and trying to keep the traitors back, and it's still close. I think the results have been coming in. It's still.
Yeah, we've got a couple in so far. We're still an hour to go in this fourth round.
What was interesting, round 3 and 4, rounds 2 and 3, they both kept going. One win ahead, draw, ahead, draw, ahead, draw. And it kept switching back and forth as results came in.
It's nicer looking at the win-loss-draw system rather than the
campaign points. The campaign points win you the game, but we are recording. The traitors have won. Yeah. So the Loyalists won 11 games to the traitors 6.
Just helps
last
keep
time,
it a little bit tighter, doesn't it?
Yeah. So they've not. The traitors aren't climbing. It's sort of resetting back to 0 every round now. Yeah. So that's how it affects down the branching structure then. So. it's keeping it. We had a bit of an issue at the doubles. So some people in the last round were like, well, we're fucked. Well, you know, the loyalists.
Yeah,
the traitors
if
were
the win
fucked.
was too big, it'd be very hard to claw back unless someone else had.
Yeah,
really
narratively, it was like, well, we've been absolutely crushed. What are we doing? You know, so this has kept it a bit more.
There's more
in.
interest.
People have been
yeah.
a bit more in, and the way we've structured the branching narrative to work its way around has meant that narratively, that there's the first, the third, and the fifth round are the key points to the game.
Yeah.
But how we get to those. There's options of how we get around there, which affected which missions they played and how those missions went.
There's probably more in-depth narrative this time, but displayed in a very different way. Because we were playing clips last time at the beginning of rounds, and it's quite hard to get everyone to listen to. People are thinking about their matchups, and they're not really taking any notes. So Pete Uplander edited some fluff outlines and put it together into a really nice fluff piece and read it and recorded it, and I edited it with music, so we got like a 4-minute proper intro which people have seen now. It's out in the group and stuff, and that's kind of a setup, and it's available in the rules pack as well, and then the narratives on each mission
I'm giving a little bit of
a
briefing and an overview, and then the specific details of the mission are in there, same as the ZMs
as well. So if you want to follow it, you really can. If you just want to come and chill out and roll some dice and have a few beers, you can do that as well, so it should suit both style of gamer. It's really nice to do. We just haven't got the setup here. It's it's a bar, it's a club, it's a venue. We're in a beautiful sunny courtyard with a screen up, but it's also still outside, and to get everyone together to sit and watch a 2-minute video and take it in, it sounded like it should be really easy, but it just didn't work the way we wanted it to the last couple of years.
When it was executed at 30k Frontier, you could see the difference is they're in a room.
Yeah,
there were a smaller group of us.
In a modern hotel with a good facilities. It's different, and then they've got skills beyond ours to polish it and make it really super good as well.
Pete showed that he didn't make me feel, I can't do it. He went, actually, if you're going to do it, to make it good, it needs to be at that level, and we can't achieve that. So we need to go back to our skill sets.
Yeah,
what can we do? And I can talk.
Yeah.
So let me do the.
So we still got a bit of it, an element of it, and what we did do was better probably than what we've done. At least the quality of the actual story, because Pete's done an awful.
Cheers, all that fucking work.
Pete's currently taking notes for us at the Forge World Open Day to post in the group, and I'm accidentally saying bad things about him. So sorry, Pete. He's done a brilliant job of making it much better than you or I could write. So
I
really nice
I give him an outline. This is what's going to happen here. I'll give him things like the names of stuff and where it's got to go and how it's been and the detail of it, and I'll rough it all out in my sort of bad English, and he'll come along there. He then takes it and restructures it, rewrites it, rephrases it, rewords it, so it is a much in excess of what I could achieve as well. We're actually going to have a really professional video shot for this event, because it's just running because the dude with the camera's just gone by. There's this dude, I don't even know his name. Chip, I'm not even sure Chip knows him.
I think he's come in and just sort of said, I want to do some. I don't know if he's a movie student or something, but he's got some awesome kit.
Yeah. Well, we have a guy at Incom who's done a couple of bits for us, so I assumed it was him, and I've not met him. And Chip was like, no, it's some other random dude. He's going to film it, edit it, put it together, send it to Chip. So we'll actually have some really cool video to put out for the event, which is
when or if it ever arrives.
God knows, it might never turn up, but it's like got 4K steady cam, and he's got like a rig around him and everything. It's well good. So hopefully you'll all get to see a really good video from this, and I'll claim that it was all planned and it was all organised, and it totally wasn't
HD
just
quality heresy belly.
Do you know what? The heresy belly is in full effect at the moment, isn't it?
There's a lot of it.
Even Callum and Harry are struggling. They're starting to pick up the heresy belly. A couple of weekends of eating shit, drinking beer and rolling dice. It's starting those little young chap figures are starting to fill out into broader gamer bellies.
And we've eaten a lot of shit. There's good shit, but shit. There was a lot of curry
massive
last night.
Massive curry.
We're sitting out here to the smell of barbecue cooking, ready for getting ready for lunch as well. So
it ain't a health camp this week. No. There's no detoxing, but
well, I'm not on the beer today, so I'm driving. So I'm on the water.
I'm going to have a few beers today. I'm not going to go. I didn't go wild yesterday, but I did realise I'd been drinking for like 13 hours by the time I got home, and that's why I felt pretty rubbish this morning. But it's Good. So Tarssis is going well. We've got the Forge World Open days. So we have the first few pictures through from.
I haven't looked at any yet, but you just informed me that Scoria's out and
so I share
£80
Garrow. If you want updates on events, Garrow is the place to go. I mean, he does a great job of getting the stuff out. So Scoria's out.
Well will be a place to go. I'm sure they'll be reporting.
Yeah, Battle Bunnies usually do a good one. Battle Bunnies tend to do a good review at the end of the event with everything. Yeah. Garrow's quite good about getting just snippets of pictures up quickly, which is quite cool. So I tend to look at Garrow's pictures, then go and read Battle Bunnies, because Battle Bunnies they'll speak to people and get the information, not better information than Garrow. They just there's a more they'll have the whole picture, whereas Garrow will fire some picture up. Yeah, Scoria's out, Kroll's out for a very nice price, 36 quid for Kroll.
Yeah.
That's
lovely. Good. That's fair pricing, because obviously a little bit less resin in that piece, and that's good.
We should make Carl happy because he wants to do both face options.
Well, that might be one I pick up for my some of the painting I'm going to be doing across the autumn and winter. That was at that price. That's for the quality of sculpt and price. That's an easy choice. So that might be something I do.
I might well pick up.
I think we might see a few of them.
I think we'll see a few of them being painted. Scoria's out, 80 quid for Scoria. That's a lot, but he is Primarch size, and that is a massive base. And
I'd say it's consistent with the larger Primarch costs. So
I think the price is fair. Yeah. It's just a big price.
Yeah,
but he is your
Primarch. It's a Forge World price, isn't it?
But I wonder,
regardless of whether it's definitely expensive.
Now he's had a bit of a nerf in his rules from the FAQ. I wonder if
he'll sell.
He's still a monster.
And people will buy it just to convert from as well.
Yeah, so like some idiot who's going to spend £80 for an abeyant.
Yeah, well, they will.
I will. All the time. But it's all good. Therefore, we haven't seen a lot. We've seen a new terrain for Adeptus Titanicus. Mr. Bottle, Michael posted that in the Adeptus Titanicus. Really? It's the scale. It's like a maglev train. It looks really long. It looks amazing as a piece of scenery. It's so fucking cool. No new Titan pictures yet, but I got a feeling they might appear over the course of the day after the seminar.
There'll be a few things pop up.
What else have we seen? Lots of things we've seen before. There's actual sculpts of the Blood Angels Praetors though, and my God, are they beautiful. The Blood Angels Praetors are stunning. They've got them in the model. The Alpha Legion Praetors are there. What else is there? There's the Dreadnought Drop Pod looks definitely closer to completion.
Yeah.
The Derrideo with Will's missile racks are on there. He's determined to get them rules. I'm sure he's just going to keep showing them at the fucking until somebody releases the rules for them. We still haven't got a purvey, so there's nothing too revolutionary. But as I was saying, we're talking at 11:30 now, and the seminars are just starting.
Yeah, it's early days. I think we'll be doing another little recording session, which will come up probably right after this. But we'll do that after lunch, and we might be commenting on a bit more stuff.
I'm on the community page.
It looks like the main launch thing is Battle for Pelennor Fields.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings getting a new box set. That is cool.
Very cool.
It's quite smart. That third in model is stunning.
Yeah, that's a cool idea for a release. We knew it was coming. It's been hinted before.
Available in August. The Pelennor Fields is going to drop.
Yeah, two plastic armies.
Nothing. Yeah, this is great radio. There's nothing. Seems to be nothing firm on more on Titanicus.
Maybe the Charnodon as well.
Yeah, you got the Tomb Charodon. Yeah, you've got the Volkite Caronade on it. No. All the Blood Angels Praetor options coming with a head and a helmet option.
Yeah, that's
cool. That's very cool.
Head's quite cool on that.
And the Cowdor gang again. They are insane. Necromunda Blood Bowl upgrades. We've seen those Blood Bowls, I say.
Alpha Legion Praetor and stuff.
Yeah, we've seen the Alpha Legion Praetor. They're painted up now, so I can't imagine they'll be too long before they're out.
No.
Next couple of months. So yeah, like I said, that is literally the big stuff at the start at the moment. We haven't had any seminars through yet. So
it says the Carnodon was on display, but it was on display at Fest, wasn't it? So
yeah, Carnodon was. What they've got is the Volkite turret option for it now.
Oh, is that what it is?
There's the Volkite turret options done. So I think we'll see more over the course of the day. I think that was quite good over at was it Weekender or was it Fest when they were dropping stuff out into the cabinets across the course of the day after seminars and things? So not everything was out at the start. I quite like that.
It'll be difficult because it's a shorter day today. I can imagine I'll have
most. We might get a second wave at lunchtime.
Maybe if there's something in a seminar they want to surprise in a seminar and then drop it.
Have you seen a program for the opening? I haven't actually seen what's on and what's when.
Sam's Broken Shaw's put in our group
That's a link
the
to
poster.
Gareth.
Yeah, he's got a poster with.
No,
with
what I
what's
meant
available.
is the normally like the seminar.
Yeah.
Is there even seminars at the open day?
I can't remember now. I've been to quite a few of those things recently, and they kind of blend into one after a while. But
oh, shut up, Siri. Nobody asked you.
You said something with an S in.
Yeah, he just decided to yell at me. So, yeah, it's looking good from the open day. Some nice stuff. Kroll is definitely a high favourite of mine. So
yeah, it's good to see a couple of releases.
Yeah.
It's not been here for a few weeks, and it looks like Titanicus.
We normally get a bit of a quiet
spell.
spell
Fields will be the big kind of Pelennor Fields looks like the big announcement, doesn't it? Of it so far, which makes sense.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool.
Very cool.
I know
I'll have to pretend that doesn't exist because I haven't got time to play it. But as a Lord of the Rings
you
fan,
have to pretend
it's
that
a box set.
Yeah,
it's a starter box
and
set.
it looks.
with loads of plastic
if the models are as good as the Theoden model, they will be.
They'll be awesome. So yeah.
No problems. Right, I'm going to have to go and call an hour on the round in a minute. So we shall take a break and come back in a little bit.
Lord Marshal Great, sir. Legion reinforcements now visible on the left flank.
About time. The wolves, I see.
No, sir. Ultramarines, sir.
But they're wearing grey, Proclamator Fennec.
Vox message said new recruits, sir. No time to paint armour.
At least the Raven Guard are in black armour.
Sorry, sir. That's more Ultramarines.
For Emperor's sake, box them and find out why.
Also new armour, sir. Their eye lenses are red, and the bolt guns are silver. 3 colours minimum, sir.
What the? Get on the Vox now and tell them to contact Miniature Realm Studio.
Miniature Realm Studio, sir?
Yes, Fennec. Miniature Realm Studio offers a commission painting service, competitive rates, and a range of painting standards to suit most budgets and requirements.
Yes, sir. I suppose they do say that fully painted is for closers.
What does that even mean, Fennec?
I don't know, sir.
Miniature Realms Studio can be found on Facebook, on Twitter at Miniature Realms, on Instagram at Miniature Realms Studio, or just drop Stuart an email at miniaturerealmstudio@gmail.com.
Welcome back then, guys. It's the bullshit and bad hobby advice section with a little bit of a speciality one this time. We're sat outside in the glorious sunshine still. It's the 5th round of Tarssis. The guys are now fighting to spite each other. They've been betrayed at Mod Good Prime. It's fucking cheesy, wouldn't it? It was so good. Basically, as the loyalists have held off the rampaging traitors to buy time for evacuation, the spaceships have left the loyalists behind. They've gone, fuck this, we're out, and have gone.
Uber lost their license on Mod Gone Prime.
And it was like, yeah, we're done, Uber, we're out. Bye, see you later. Space Uber is running away. They failed the morale check and they're running back 4d6 into space. So yeah, the traitors now are just... This is the end of Tarsys now. It's all that's left is to kick the crap out of each other and spite each other and drag each other down. So while that's happening, me and Stu and Rob have sat and we've discussed our top 3. For the Painting Paragon Award, we've had the usual quick discussion that turns into a long discussion, that turns into back and forth, because we all say it'll only take us a quick discussion, and then we get deep into it. And we've made our awards. Do you want to run through the winners?
Yes, where we written them down. We all came up with the same first place.
We all shortlisted. We shortlisted about 5 or 6 each.
Yeah.
And the 3 that we were all. Yeah. Oh yeah, so it's on the other page as well.
Just looking at the shortlist as well.
So we realised that 3 or 4 of the shortlists were on everyone. We realised 2 were on all 3 of our shortlists straight away, so we picked that in. And there were 2 people where they were. There was the discussion was between someone who appeared on one person's list. Yeah. And
so we have two. We have a winner and 2 runners up.
Yeah.
And my top 3. We all chose the same winner.
Yeah.
And then the runners up.
Yeah.
We all chose one of the other runners up.
Yeah.
And then 2 people chose one person as a runner up, and one person chose one person. So it was very close. So it meant someone was very, 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 very close to win. We won't mention who it was because we don't want them to think, oh my god, I should have won or shouldn't have won.
But it was incredibly close. You know,
it was a 2-1 vote on the final runner up.
Yeah, and that's on the final place. So you know, it was. And to be honest, if they had gone the opposite way, I don't think any of us would have been frustrated that the other person. It was simply they are both.
This is
good.
why we have try to get a third judge in, so that we don't. So
split the deadlock between
we can
us.
split the deadlock, and luckily it's not on the overall winner because that's the most important.
I think every
one.
time we've done this, we've come to a consensus on a winner.
Yeah, but we would have, if without the third person split vote, then we would have had a different opinion on the last runner-up.
We would have taken one of us to back down, and Strump ain't good at negotiations. I just sit down and say, that's fine, I'm going to sue you, Stu.
Our runners-up were DC, so Dan Collister from Peterborough.
And from earlier on in the Drunken Ramble.
Yes, earlier on. And he's very, very nice Imperial Fists. Love his skin tones and his faces on there. So,
that face on that chaplain is...
I'll mention that now. So when he listens, if I hadn't told him before he goes home, because it'll be hectic there. Really like him. He's done a really good job on those. Yeah. And then the other one is Harry Halewood. So he's got a really, really cool militia army that's loads of different
The skin
stuff.
tones on his Ogryns as well. Again, skin
very,
tones
very
on Ogryns.
good.
Skin tones are something that will jump out.
And he's got a bluey grey kind of military scheme, which is sometimes hard to make kind of stand out and pop. But when you look closely, he's done a very, very good job of it as well. So they were all on our short lists. And then the winner, who may have won an event before with us.
He may have won multiple awards before.
Yeah, a fantastic painter, and Carl Woodrow with his fantastic word bearers, and he's done an amazing amount of work, and there will be lots of pictures going up about that. When they go up, make sure you have a look. But his stuff's it's really hard to describe. So it's word bearers, but it's almost a metallic, but it's not really a candy coat metallic. It's more of a pure metallic.
It's a
red.
metallic scheme, but it's done in
it's got blue
satin or a
tones and
matte
stuff.
finish.
It's like bruised meat. Someone described it as yesterday.
It's dark arterial, almost that black blood kind of very deep crimson. And it's little things like if you go and look in the metallics on the Leviathan things where there are colours blended into the metallics for reflections, which is very an technique, but it gives a reflection and a depth to his metals. Where metals is something I've been working on. I've talked to you a lot about metals, and something I've been working on. I got a lot from. I talked to Mr. Metal himself, Mr. Steel, about improving my metallics, and I'm at a point where I think my metallics look good. Carl's metallics are the next step on for me again.
Incredible.
I'm saying metallics don't mean the candy coat. I mean the actual metal, his steels and his golds and stuff. And the palette isn't striking in terms of bright colours.
No,
but it draws you in with that richness of colour, and then when you get into it, you start finding the other things inside it.
At no point does it, because it's going to be hard to imagine if you haven't seen it. If you're just listening to this, at no point do they look like a Thousand Suns candy coat metallic? It's not that at all. You have to see it.
The Thousand Suns I did with Henry the other week at Colt, and they look like two different
this
armies.
Isn't it. This is almost if you picked up a red metallic paint rather than applying clear over a metallic. It looks very, very different. He's done a very good job of it.
But it's got that metallic
he's got the lighting right, which is really difficult to do with the metallic, especially if you do coloured, because it's very easy just to keep that quite flat. But he's got very, very good lighting and he's got beautiful texture changes, because he's got some demons in there as well. And the skin on them is very, very different then, so it contrasts really nicely and makes them really stand out. They're actually some of my favourite models.
The demons in there, the word bearers are fantastic. The demons, and he was very clever with the way he displayed his army as well. He put those demons in the middle, so so you had a lot of infantry standing, so you got a lot of metallic, a big tank, these big falchion there with a big metallic, but in the middle he created, so one of the things we talked about on Card Paint is creating contrast within a miniature. So I did the metallic scheme with flat shoulder pads. That instantly creates contrast and interest. Carl actually, with his display, created contrast and interest by putting that pallid demons in the middle. They're a much more pallid colour as well. There's a change in texture, there's a change in tone, there's a change in shape. The organic shapes mixed in with the harsher Mark IV square. Suddenly was like, there's another thing that grabs you about them.
His baiting's really good as well. It's not over the top. A lot of it is very subtle stuff, so you look really, really close, but the colour's right there. It looks...
It complements the army perfectly.
The texture complements what is the shiny metallics and things, and it looks dry, which is just what you want when you... so all round it's... and
there's no overdone gimmick in there. There's no over-the-top OSL or something. I'm not saying OSL's bad or wrong or whatever, because Harry's got some beautiful OSL on his plasma fusils and things, he's got the shine on the breastplates and stuff, which is lovely. but he's not done that on one, and then
No.
not the other. He's got some heat. He's got some effects on the tanks and things, heat strain and stuff like that. But it's done. It's the colours and the choices with those effects match the palette. There's no jar with like a bright yellow OSL or something that really jars the palette. So
yeah, there's definitely. I mean, very, very nice. I don't want to keep going on and on because people want to see it really. So we will both post pictures up.
I mean, go and check out Carl's Studio Dropship accounts. He's a Twitch streamer regularly.
He's on
really good Twitch streamer.
Twitter as well. He posted stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, so you can go and hunt
Instagram.
through there.
So definitely follow him if you do. We will have some pictures of his army up, and we'll probably get him because I think he might have taken some better pictures than we have in terms of lighting. We'll see if we can get him to do a good post of his winning army and actually post it in our group.
I'm sure he'll do a post on his social media with some
we'll
pictures
get it shared
as well.
so
And we'll share that.
It'll be nice to mention some of the other sort of ones we've shortlisted and commended as well.
Should we have a little chat on the two highly commended because we've gone through quite a lot of detail with Carl. I mean, what was it for Harry's then that got hit, broke him in up because the shortlist is about 5 each, isn't it? What pushed Harry up into that top half for you?
I think I just quite like the overall balance and composition. He's got some yellows in there, which works very well with the blue-grey.
Yeah.
I think the skin tones, you mentioned this is skin tones in his Minotaurs. It's I think it's not, again, it's quite subtle, some of it, but it's very, very nicely executed, to be honest with you.
Some nice conversions in
It's a very coherent army, there are good conversions and things in there.
Well, we're judging painting. A good conversion gives you the scope to display your painting skills by having an interesting thing to paint and an interesting composition to paint.
And then DC as well. So I've already mentioned DC a little bit. So for me, it was like really liked the flesh he did. Some of the bare heads of the Marines just really drew my eye in, and they were very well executed. And they're quite. He's kept to his theme well as well. He's very heavily sort of weathered, battered.
It's a Siege of Terror force. The marble bases complement that nicely.
They're very good.
That's the screen falling over.
Good. A little gust of wind and.
It's not the most stable. That's the headphones gone. That's fine. We're all right. We're all good. I think DC overall it works very nicely as an army, and it's one of those armies that benefits from he has painted the army together to this force. It's given a uniformity across the army as well. One of the things I've talked about before in my Ultramarines is there's a great big variation in the level of the painting across the models, which hurts the army. Because there's definitely strong bits and weak bits, and that contrast affects because you think, well, that's brilliant, and that's rubbish because it looks even worse by that. Whereas DC's there's a lot of uniform, which is the same for Harry and Carl. All three of them, there is a uniform level of ability and style and achievement through and execution through the army. So they're very good. So who else did we have that didn't quite make the cut that you wanted to mention?
So Jack's Death Guard, people would have seen his he was in everyone's shortlist, I think. And was right up there. He's very, very tight scoring in terms of the final choices, but definitely for the runner-up positions. They were very, very hard to choose. Ben Fabian's Blood Angels are really nice. Johnny's Blood Angels, I know he's still got some more work to do on them, but every time I see them, he's done a little bit more, and his tanks
once
are
those
looking
get completed, I think
gorgeous.
The gorgeous red on them. Again, it's not a Thousand Suns red, it's not a Word Bearers red metallic, it's a Blood Angels red metallic. Same
it's
with
really, really cool, really, really interesting. Duncan Cormack's World Eaters are always up there in conversations because they're a really nicely executed
one of the interesting
army.
comments that was made by that, he's got an anti-mantic purveyors on his Dorado, and someone said to me, is that the Fortune one? Is it out? I said, no, he built that by hand. And they were like, what? I was like, yeah, that's him. He copied what's been designed, but he's built that. Wow. Yeah, and it is. The anti-mantic purveyors on it looks like he could have stolen it from Will's drawers.
Yeah,
but
he's very skilled with his
and the basing and the posing and things of his models and the conversions.
Yeah, he's got a lovely one of his javelins is the guy just jumping out and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
his
really
Triari captain with the boarding shield, where he's taken the Ultramarines boarding shield and put the World Eaters brass etch in it.
He puts real heart and soul and theme and story into each model. Really.
Each of his set pieces is brilliant.
I think he's been building it over a long time as well, so he's going to add a model and I'm going to work on this for a month or so, and he's got to put some time into it and really does it, and it really, really pays off. Who else have we got on the list? So Brendan's Mechanicum and Iron Hands are looking great, and there's a lot of new stuff in there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Iron Hands finished as a force, because I think the comment I made, he's got some of the force he's got shows off the best of his Mechanicum and the best of his Iron Hands there, and it's a really nice. They the orange and the black complement each other quite nicely in an odd, satisfying way.
Who else have we got, guys? I'm just thinking of your hand.
Joe Fabian.
Yeah.
So Joe Fabian, he's redone his World Eaters.
Yeah, they're looking really
you
good.
can see he's been spent some time with Miles. I mean, the lovely uniformity across there. The metals are nice. So there's a bit of refinement of technique needed, maybe a bit of refinement of technique, but considering the short space of time Joe's had to do that, it's great. It's absolutely fine. It's a fantastic looking army. Rob Hill's Mechanicum. He's got really nice converted Imperial Knight with a big shield and a battle cannon on the shoulder, and a yellow as well. Yellow and black hazard striping, which is two colours that can be quite difficult to make interesting. They popped up.
There were lots of improvements I've seen on things before. I really like Ben Fletcher's Mechanicum. They're a really nice, tidy army. They look really nice.
He's got a real
Mr.
nice
Winless
start,
is Night Lords. I love the blue. The blue airbrushing he's done on those.
Get on and get them finished, Winless.
Yes, the final stages are out of there. He's done such a great job with the airbrush stages that once he's done his final sort of finishing touches,
it will be a stunning army.
They could be really, really stunning.
And
as
it's a very interesting blue for Night Lords. It's definitely a Night Lords blue, but it's not a. It doesn't feel like the Night Lords blue that happens everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. I will give Will Henry Salamanders a nod. They're not painted by him, but
I don't know who they're painted by.
And I don't know who they're painted by, but they are a stunning army. Rob himself's army. I know he's not eligible to.
Yes.
To vote, but Rob's army was
Robbing is a beautiful Space Wolves, and they've won at Blood and Glory last year, didn't they?
Yeah. Beautiful knights, beautiful conversion, nice conversions, beautiful. Well,
he's playing now because we had someone that had to rush home on an emergency. So our spare player is being a spare player. So he's not here for this discussion, but he can hear us being nice about him when he listens back.
Yeah, he's got. I'm just working my way around the head mentally now.
Yeah, we're probably going to forget someone that I really like. So apologies in advance.
There are lots of very good armies here. Some lovely stuff from. Some genuine stuff. Killer stuff's very nice. I do like killer stuff. It's a black and it's a difficult colours. Some difficult colours to pick
We
up.
got Golden Demon winning. Cy
like
Davis has
not
brought
even
his
gonna mention.
Alpha Legion, and he brought an older army.
Yeah,
he's got 2 or 3 armies since then, though. But they were new additions. Were fantastic. So a couple of new characters with freehand on the back, which is incredible.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of high end.
And
stuff.
he would tell you, he knows that he's in a similar position like he described with the mech. He's got some higher end bits in that army that have developed over time, and he's got some stuff he's really proud of. The free hand on the cloak that he went, it's a bit ropey this. I was like, mate, that was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
So I think overall it's a good level of hobby. There's some really nice. So obviously we're looking at painting. There are some beautiful hobby armies.
We can talk about that in a moment because we've got the results for that as well.
More than just painting and schemes. So.
Let's talk about that then.
Yeah,
let's talk about So we do a hobby award as well, which is basically peer voted. It's painting, but it's also army construction and theme and narrative,
extras.
So some people are taking a lot of time displaying their army with specially presented army lists and fluff and theme and things as well. The content of that fluff is a separate award. Which we'll we haven't really talked about. We'll talk about in a separate section probably. But the actual presentation of it in terms of a visual is been incredible again.
Really good.
But we might as well say who's won that as well.
So Carl walked away with the hobby as well.
He won comfortably.
He's made a leather-bound book he has hand-drawn cultures in runes in and stories in. He's been recording his games over the weekend in it.
Well, there's a book, there's a map in a frame,
which the other half of the map is out by Callum's army. So they've actually created a narrative between them in the two armies where if you read their fluff together, they do work together. They're 2 word bearers forces as part of a larger force. And they're 2 war bands, and there's some rivalry between the 2 of them, and it's brilliant. The 2 of them have really enjoyed that bit.
And again, there'll be pictures posted up of that with a bit of a wrap-up post, but really, really nice. So, who were the runners-up for that? You've got those in front of you.
Hobby hero. You can tell I'm starting to flag now, aren't you? It's been a long weekend. So the runners-up for that were Mr. Ben Fabian, which I think was very well deserved. He's done a lovely job with his book.
The red on his Blood Angels is very, very, very good, and the detail he's put behind his fluff and his army.
So he's built himself basically a red book with, he's got characters and models have got unit profiles listed there with their fluff in the little red box alongside them, and individual
fantastic.
models have got stories. He's really put the work in there. And the other one was Harry, which I think again he's done some good work on the fluff, and he does a lot of stuff on Instagram. When he puts a picture up of his army, he doesn't tend to just put a picture up. He'll tend to write about that.
Yeah. And the
battle,
conversions
that moment,
in that army are really fun. The Minotaur,
Ogrins, and
really,
the
really
Mechanicum.
Cool.
Lots of people have talked about using the Gene Stealer Colts and Mechanicum stuff to make an army.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of them out there.
He's used other parts as well. I'm not sure what all the parts are, but
the general core of his
good.
troops has Qatari and Gene Stealer Colt models, and he's blended them, but not blended them in a way where you're like, oh, that's Qatari and that's Mechanicum.
Well, they still look like men.
They look like humans. They
yeah,
look
they
like,
don't.
but they don't look. But they don't look like a Gene Stealer Colt or a Qatari army. They're very much their army. So it's a real nice use of those. I mean, and again with the accent colours, yellows and capes and things to set off.
Well, it's clearly struck a chord with the people attending this weekend, because we've identified it as one of the runners up in terms of painting, and people clearly love his army as well. So there's some good fun. Yeah, good armies out there. And then lots of people got votes across the board. A lot of the people we've already talked about in terms of painting and stuff. There's too many to vote, but I reckon at least half the players would have had a hobby vote from the peer in terms of the peer voting.
And those that didn't would probably agree and understand where they were. I don't think there's nobody who we went, they haven't got a vote. That's interesting. Or so everything that is at that, and there is no bad army here. There is not one army. There are people with armies who would say, it's not quite finished yet. It's not ready yet. I wanted to come and play. I didn't get.
There's no that aren't finished haven't fully done their basing and stuff like that. It's very much a case of it's fully coloured. It's just they might go back and do some more weathering and things.
He's got a majority of his stuff done. He's got things like his Dreadclaw is painted and based, but he hasn't gone back in and added the weathering and the transfers yet. So it's not that it isn't. It meets the minimum standards we always set out. It's fine. I would call it a fully painted army.
Beyond minimum for some people, to be honest with you.
He just needs. He knows that's a work in progress, and I know that's come from it. I think he went down with Mars as well.
Yeah.
He's reset his Night Lord, so he's kind of started again from quite a big collection. So, it's there's a lot of work to go into that as well. So. Yeah, I think overall the hobby stand has been fantastic. The effort that has gone in and the work that people have put in and stuff has been really, really outstanding. Again, I would be disappointed with the tack we take with our podcast to have an event that didn't not lean on hobby, but
people
which we've created an environment. I hope we'd say we've created an environment where we encourage people to do as best they can. And without being elitist or you must, I only want Golden Demon winning painters here. No, we just want everybody to have taken it. One of the comments maybe, Tarssis requires people to move mountains, because we want you to put the work in and put the effort in. And it's not to say you'll be the best, but you put your effort in. I have turned up with something I am damn proud of, and I think everybody here is proud of what they put on the table, which leads to passionate players, which leads to a engaging event, which leads to interested people. There's been lots of conversations about painting and hobbying and stuff going on, so it's been really, really good.
Yeah.
I think, nice bit of dead air to finish with.
Yeah,
cool.
I think so.
Let's roll out for a little break then.
Show yourself, I wanna see everything you're made of.
You're doing 1,000 more steps than me today. 8.5. Great intro to this one. Anyway, it's all over. Tarssis, the Weekender, is wrapped for another year. Awards have been given, hands have been shaken, shocks have been announced, and we're now sat chilling in the garden, enjoying a few minutes of quiet. And the place quiet now, everyone's gone.
Yes, the calm after the storm.
Yeah, the calm tomorrow will be moved pottering around, putting tables away.
I get to go on holiday.
Yeah, you'll go on holiday. I've got to keep working for another day. No, it'd be all right. A lot of the tables in packed, but. Yeah, so we've talked about a lot of the awards that were thrown out. There were
we talked about the painting awards.
Yeah, there were a couple of awards that needed to be awarded at the end, which was Sports, Saga Legend, and just Sports and Saga Legend. I think we covered. Oh, did we cover the fluff? No, we haven't. And 2 fluff awards.
Yeah.
So we had the Saga, which is interesting. Hopefully, this guy who's done the video he's got the sound, and hopefully we can release. Those at least, the Sagas.
It'll be really interesting.
And we're really
fun. We get it soon, because it'll be interesting to see what it's like rather than just stills.
Yeah, so as always, Strump's voting irregularities got called into disrepute, and we, instead of my judging by ear screaming award, we actually had people stand by him.
I thought you were going to go for counting hands in the air, but you turned it into the school playground and a popularity contest. It's like picking teams.
It had to be silly still. So we had our three. We had Scott, we had Johnny, we had always the bridesmaid, never the bride, Duncan Cormack for that award. And he does write some good stories, but he was pipped, I think, by Johnny's presentation skills. He is a radio man, and he delivered his story fantastic. Dung did a great job delivering it, but Johnny, and as Dung did point out when I said it's basically a public, I said, well, I haven't got a podcast, and it actually wasn't it. I think from memory it was like 12, 10.
It was really close.
It was like
12, 10, 13.
Yeah, it was only a couple of heads in it between. There was not like everybody was.
Of course, they've released a video now, and people will recount and will have made a mistake. And
yeah,
but controversy.
But it'll just be fake news, then it'll be fake news from CNN. So
Russians did it.
The saga was given out. Then we had our 2 Fluff Awards, which Jack went away with the winner for the favourite traitor Fluff, didn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah, and Dan walked away with favourite loyalist. And there were some really nice Fluff pieces put into the group beforehand. I was going to release a PDF after the doubles, and I haven't got round to it. So what I think I'm going to do is
wait till after the next event.
I'm going to take these ones and release like an anthology of the year.
I wonder if there'll be enough for an advent calendar of them in December. If we can release them by day.
Are you going to release one every day? Because I'm sure it's not going to get it. But
I've had the idea. You can execute it.
That's usually the other way around. I come up with some mad scheme, and then you have to work out how to make it work.
So I've had the idea. You can execute it.
So
you can do it.
We'll do something. We'll do something with the Fluff because we're piling up, and it's really good stuff. So, yeah, we had that, and then we had our Best Sportsman Award. One of the nicest, actually, was really nice. Is it actually worked out that we had 4 highly commended because we had 4 people tied on second on the for.
Yes,
not the winner. The 4. There was the chap. There was the incredible. I've got to look into vote rigging for Tom Henry walking away with his favourite player with actually almost a near perfect score.
Yes.
So the way we count it out, we award 3 points for a first place and 1 for a second place, and he walked out with 13.
Yep, he did.
So which
13
is
out of the potential.
Yeah, so that's
15,
5 votes from every vote from every game.
There was someone on 11 and 3 on 9.
Oh yes, there was Tom on 13, Carl on 11, and the 3 other dudes on 9, and so we were like, shit, we've only got 2 certificates. What do we do? It's like, well, we'll give them to them all and we'll split them.
I don't like the old roll of dice thing.
No.
For sport, it seems to go against the whole nature of the.
Yeah, and it was unfair not to reward guys that had, again, to score 9. I think they all had 3 first place votes.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah. So that the
3 of their 5 games. They were given
the favourite games. So that's pretty. It seemed really unfair to sort of not reward them for having 3 games. For people.
Totally agree.
People thought
we did the right thing.
We're fantastic. So it's fine. I'm going to make some more certificates. I'll order a couple more frames. I don't actually know who walked away with them.
You don't? No.
I'll talk to them in the group and said who actually walked out with the certificates, who needs one, and I'll message them and sort that out. But yeah, that was fantastic to be able to award them. And like I said, Tom Henry walked away with favourite sporting player. There is a turn up. Look what happened when you don't play Emperor's Children.
Yes.
No, he's had a great weekend time, and he's been life. At one point, I did watch him run out of the bar into the courtyard, throw 3 dice at the floor, and then start counting cover saves at the end of the day. I think there was him and Jack had possibly the longest game of his own, longest, drunkest.
It was the last game yesterday, wasn't it? Lots
game
of
of Zone Mortalis, yeah. There were 3 points. We thought they'd finished, but they hadn't. They just stopped down. They got distracted, started down and had a drink, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're going to go back and play turn 2 in a minute." What's going on here? So, no, much fun was had by those guys. So. Yeah, then that took us into I'll Be Hero and Paint Paragon that we've discussed. And then we had our last little award to say thank you to Rob for coming down.
Who's standing near us? He's waving.
Looking shocked still. Coming down and helping us out and saving our bacon at the last moment, really.
We always have a couple of those awards ready to give out, and we might end up not giving any out, and it's kind of there if someone really does something over the weekend that sort of stands up, helps out, does something really cool, or
if somebody's gone above and beyond somewhere and that doesn't award them a prize, but they've really done something special.
And
so
getting the train down from Yorkshire at short notice.
Yeah, on 2 days.
and on a very delayed train, it definitely counts.
And then trying to get the train home on a day when
and he was
the
very much
train's
needed.
fucked.
He's helped us with the painting judging, and he's a very, very, very good painter himself. And he stepped in today because we had a player who had to go home with a family emergency. So he's very much earned it. I mean, thank you very much for doing it. But other than that was it.
Yeah, that was it. So
gone, and I'm glad I'm not clearing up tomorrow with you.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's tables to put away, and I can get away with some of it because it's the shop's open Tuesday, Monday.
Yeah.
It's gaming night Tuesday. So if I leave some of the tables out, the Tuesday night gamers will come in and play on them and then put them away for me on Tuesday. So I can be tactical with what I pack away. Well, I just need to get the terrain away more than anything, get the event.
Yeah, a lot of that's packed up now.
Yeah,
anyway,
so it won't be too bad. It's just going to be hunking stuff up the stairs a bit in sweaty weather. So no, thank you guys for putting up with the kind of meandering episode that's going to be this one with Tarssis in. Recorded in various states of excitement, drunkenness, soberness, reflectiveness. So yeah, it's been a good show. Anything else we need to say?
I think we're not quite sure when the next episode will be. It's hopefully sometime in August. We want to have a mini, like 3. We're both busy with holidays and stuff, aren't we?
August,
so it's probably going to be, because this won't be out till 2 weeks when we're recording now anyway, which means nothing to the people listening to it. But we want to do a show with the release of Titanicus, really. I think.
Yeah,
because we're not doing much hobby-wise in between.
Yeah, if Titanicus,
but we don't know what date it's coming out on.
If Titanicus comes out early August, we will hold out for it. If Titanicus is going to be end of August, we might cheek a show, depending what we do.
Yeah, we're both you're away, and then I'm away, and that could,
and then I'm down in
at
a car as well. So the dates are going to be a bit funny over August. So we'll still be active online and everything in all the usual places.
But if it's 5 weeks or so, forgive us. Rather than usual 4.
We might have a little summer holiday, but. We're still about. We'll be pumping pictures out and social mediaing and stuff. But yeah, hopefully catch up with you soon, guys.
Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Gotta make a serious decision. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Gotta make a serious decision. It could be me up there in stage lights. It could be me on the TV in your living room. It could be me jet setting with my band across the world. A band alive in concert one night only. Tickets sold out. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Gotta make a serious decision. Now I am giving candid disclosure to pressing interview. There I go, I'm welcome the crowd up to the podium. On behalf of our fans, we'd like to accept this award. Smile for the camera boys. The record in hand. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Gotta make a serious decision. All of our lives and waiting. All of our lives trading for their roses and applause. All of our lives dedicated to shoving it right back in their fucking face. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Stop, take some time to think, figure out what's important to you. Gotta make a serious decision. Said you gotta make a serious decision. Stop, take some time to think.